Hi, everybody. Good morning. Hello. It is the Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports, here on 710, seattlesports.com, the Seattle Sports app. And, of course, all the podcast platforms like Apple and Spotify. And then we're on YouTube, of course. You can watch live on YouTube, or you can find clips and do it later and watch on your own time. Or if you're just driving around Seattle, 97.3 HD2, crystal clear, high-definition radio on your car radio. And it works great. Oh, my gosh. It's hard to find. But once you find it, you will never go back. That's how I listen to the radio all the time. It's how I listen to the station, listen to Bump and Stacy, listen to Wyman and Bob, listen to the games, all on 97.3 HD2. Debating whether I want to complain this morning. Do you want me to complain, or do you want to, talk positive? You want to go complaints, or do you want to, talk about some cool stuff going on? I can complain for a minute if you want, but I don't want to
time you.
You time me? Give me 1 minute of complaints. The weather sucks. And what in the world it's like, what is going on with people driving in the city? I know this is an old, tired rant, and I know that, I'm not trying to be like a stand-up comedian, what's the deal with bad drivers? Seriously, what is wrong with people driving in the city? I almost got into 5 accidents yesterday, none of which were even close to my fault. One, driving through Capitol Hill, was a guy just walking across Broadway against the signal while I was driving over it. Dude. And it's pouring rain. It's getting dark early. This was at 5:15, so it's dusk. I'm literally just driving through a green light, and some moron is walking across the street as if he has the signal. The hell are you doing? I hit the brakes, swerve, almost crash the car. Kids are in the car whoa. Dude, get out of the road. That was before, literally in a 5-minute drive, 3 different people were unable to park their car. Now, one of them was a parallel parking job. I understand that can take some time if, you're a moron.
Time's up.
The other 2 were literally just pulling into spaces. All right, there's 1 minute of just, I can't believe how bad people are at driving. I cannot believe how bad they are.
Bad at being a pedestrian.
True, but I'm going to put him, I bet you he'd be an even worse driver. If he was driving, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I bet he'd be an even worse driver. My God. Let's get it together, people. All right, that's it. Thank you, Maura. Thank you for my minute. Maybe I took a minute and a half, but, I deserved it. You want to be positive? God, this Seahawks thing is starting to get fun. It is weird, though. It is a little weird. We've been we've been early on this because it's our team, and we're watching them all the time, and we could see building over the course of the year that there was something cool going on, and Mike McDonald was obviously first on this, right? Remember how mad he was after that San Francisco game, and we were like, all right, dude, it's game 1, tone it down, right? But he was no, this team could be really good, and it was almost like they had earned the right for him to be that mad that they lost that game. And so kudos to him. He was right. He saw all the talent. He saw what they were capable of. And now it's 6-2, leading the division, leading the conference, and playing, some of their best football, some of their more sustainable football, I think we believe. You get a totally different view now of kind of what this team is capable of. And we got to experience that and hold it to ourselves for, 5-6 weeks? Because nobody watches the Seahawks cross country. Nobody has any idea what's going on. We know that. As was it you said this yesterday, more even when we get a Monday night game, it's at 7 o'clock, 7:30. Nobody can even watch it across the country, and it's opposite Game 7 of the ALCS. Ugh. So we know the relative anonymity that we live in. But Sunday night and the whooping that they put on Washington, the full-fledged mollywhopping in the first half when people on the East Coast were still awake, that seemed to have opened some eyes. And, Maura, you've been sending over, the sound hound, the sound Saluki doing everything she does, sending over all of the sound. And it's every day there's more of it. Kyle Brandt and who else did we play yesterday? Harry Douglas and
Bill Simmons has been
Bill Simmons and
Scott Van
Shio
Pelt now.
Kapadia. And today it's Scott Van Pelt. And you sent me over, who else do we have for later? J.J. Watt and Bert Breer. And it just goes on and on and on.
We should give Bert Breer some credit. When he came on with us in the offseason, he liked this team quite a bit.
He likes everything. Not giving Burton
I forget
credit.
you guys go back.
No, you're right. Bert did like this team. Of all the national people, Bert, I would say, probably seems most interested in the Seahawks every year. Now, I may be biased just because, as I said, he and I do go back, and I like Bert, and he helped me get my job here, so I owe him still to this day, and love that guy. But he does every year I think he likes Schneider. I think they're sort of kindred spirits in some ways.
Schneider is someone who, in all of the national media, is starting to notice what the Seahawks are doing. He's starting to get a lot of credit as well, and
Again,
as he should.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's been here forever, right? And you would think that all of those years of kind of putting up good season after good season. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think
saw John Middlecoff make a good point. As there's obviously the roster and how great this rookie class is doing and everything they've built, but the hiring of Mike McDonald and going with a defensive coach over the hottest offensive guy, which was the trend, is something he should get credit for as well.
All true. All true. I wonder why he did that. I wonder where that came from. Like, I mean, maybe the experience with Pete Carroll. I wonder why. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it would be a good question for John at some point. I mean, he probably would say, I just felt like he was the best coach for the job. That's my guess. But I do wonder if some of it was also, the desire for zigging when everyone else was zagging, right? Kind of go in the opposite direction. If everybody else is going offense, go defense and try to be a disruptor in that way. I would imagine that had something to do with it. And I wonder whether some of it also was his positive experience with Pete Carroll over all of the many years together and the understanding of what Pete could do as a defensive-minded head coach who was willing to kind of think about the game a little bit more holistically. And I'm going to guess that was a part of it as well. It would be a good question to ask John now, though, kind of going back a little bit rather than, right after it happened, kind of thinking now about why he did what he did. Yeah, it's a really good point, Maura, and from Middlecoff and from you, the defensive-minded head coach thing is a big part of this, and I think we all like that element of it. There's a piece of sound from Joel Klatt. We're gonna end up playing you the Joel Klatt interview, which was awesome. He really went into some great detail on how to run a defense and kind of run an offense, and I loved it. It was my favorite Joel Klatt interview we've done. But this stood out to me yesterday as this isn't analytics necessarily. This is where gut maybe comes in, feel comes in a little bit, and it seems like Mike's been great at this.
It's not every single series, but there are going to be moments when the game allows you or your hand allows you to get aggressive. And you understand that a 3-and-out at that moment, a stop at that moment is really going to hurt the opposition. Versus just trying to, everyone's like, well, you got to get a stop, Yes, you obviously want to get stops, but there are moments when those stops are more impactful. You go down and you put together a long score on the offensive side, and then you come out, maybe it's the third quarter, maybe it's a possession game, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, a 3-and-out here puts them in a bind because their defense is tired and so on. And we used to have those conversations, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea of just having a good feel for the game. It's been one of my favorite parts of the Mike McDonald era is his ability to manage the game during the game. The number of in-game mistakes Mike McDonald makes to our eyes, right? The decision-making, not what play to call, but the decision-making stuff, it just doesn't exist. I mean, like, if it's happened, it's been in one hand. He just doesn't make those like, oh, my God, I can't believe they went for it there. Oh, my God, I can't believe he punted that. He just doesn't do that. And when he does do things that maybe you wonder about, he's got a really sound reasoning to back it up. Yeah, I've had a ton of respect for how Mike has handled those in-game decisions. But I never really thought about, as Joel was saying yesterday, like, a good poker player folds 60, 70% of his hands. A good coordinator, a good defensive coordinator is keeping it safe 60 or 70% of the time. But then understanding and having that feel, that sense of when to go all in and when to, kind of make a play and use some of the tricks that are in their bag. And it sure seems, at least through a year and a half, like Mike's got all of that and more. So, yeah, it's a cool spot that we're in. The only concern, and again, it's just us, is just with all of the, national accolades all of a sudden pouring their way, Do they get, a little full of themselves heading into a game against a very beatable team in Arizona, but one that is still a little bit dangerous? I hope not. I don't think that's going to happen, but, always something to guard against. 626, are we doing bumps get off my lawn segment early? Hey, this isn't asking people to be able to drive? I don't think that's get off my lawn. Asking pedestrians to not walk through the middle of a street when I have a green light? I don't feel like that's like a hardcore old man get off my lawn. That just feels like common sense to me. But hey, I guess I'm getting old. We'll be right back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know next on Brock and Salk.
Hawks Live.
Touchdown!
Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer and a different Seahawks player every week.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Looking for a high school that nurtures both the mind and spirit? Archbishop Murphy High School is where academic excellence meets faith-based education. With a 100% graduation rate and a college prep program designed to challenge and inspire, our students are prepared for whatever the future holds. But it's more than just academics. Archbishop Murphy's robust athletics, arts, and co-curricular activities ensure that every student finds their passion and thrives. Archbishop Murphy High School believes in educating the whole person. That's why we offer a vibrant campus life where students grow not only academically, but also spiritually, socially, and physically. Don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself. Schedule a visit and discover how Archbishop Murphy High School can help your students succeed. Visit am-hs.org. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy proudly supports Archbishop Murphy High School, where your story begins. am-hs.org.
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always moving the chains. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Michelle's Moment here for Gainbridge and their Give Back program, Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity. Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity's goal is to empower girls and women through sports and education, providing 32 organizations in 21 states $222 of grant funding during 2025. These grants aim to level the playing field and expand access to sports and education for girls and women across the country. Here's to a future with no limits for women's sports with Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
The birth of the American supercar is roaring into LeMay, America's Car Museum, starting October 25th. Curated by racing icon Steve Saleen, this electrifying exhibition showcases the evolution of American speed, style, and engineering, featuring icons like Hennessy, Shelby, Zinger, and more. From raw horsepower to groundbreaking design, this is the ultimate tribute to performance. Don't miss the birth of the American supercar, opening October 25th at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Visit americascarmuseum.org to learn more.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always moving the chains. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
O'Brien.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, a little bit of a mixed bag on the Seahawks injury report heading into the week. I think it was actually probably more good than bad. Here's the best news. Ernest Jones, a limited participant.
He's working through it. You know, like he's going to be part of our walkthrough. We'll see how much he does in the actual ACT. So I'm sure he'd be limited to some capacity today. And then we'll see tomorrow.
I mean, honestly, when that injury went down, didn't you think it was going to be a while before we saw Ernest Jones again? The fact that he's even listed as limited with a possibility of getting back out there. Maybe it's this week. Maybe they hold him out until the Rams game the following week. Either way, lots of good news there. And it'd be probably even better to see them not trade for a linebacker before the deadline on Tuesday. So knowing he could be out there is, I think, a really big deal. Not sure if he ends up playing or not this week. Cooper Kupp, another guy that we're monitoring.
I'm not going to say like close or not close, but he wanted to play. It was the best thing for him not to. I mean, the guy's a stud. He's going to do everything possible to play, and it's up to us to make the best decision, for him and for the team.
Yeah, they ended up listing him as a non-participant yesterday, along with Bobo, Job, who's coming off the concussion, and Derek Young. Interesting, though, 3 of those 4 guys play wide receiver, so maybe a good indication of why they acquired Rashid Shaheed on Tuesday, and we got to meet him yesterday. Seems like a delightful guy who really likes Seattle already.
Can be a free agent at the end of the year. Is that anything on your mind now as you come here, or you just kind of worry about that later?
No, I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay, man. So I'm excited. We can figure something out after the offseason, or after the season ends. But yeah, I'm excited.
You're looking at this as your new home?
Long term, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is my long-term new home. I've been here for like 4 hours. Okay. They must have made him feel very comfortable very quickly. I love it. By the way, Rashid Shaheed, I'm into that. He also, I think, is looking forward to teaming up with Jackson Smith and Jigba.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to team up with him. He's had a great year so far, a great career. And I'm just excited to share the same field as well as the rest of this offense to come together and win some games.
I found myself yesterday watching the video of him trying on his Seahawks helmet for the first time. I don't know why. That one sucked me in. That's a pretty cool little behind the scenes. It wasn't interesting or anything. He just put on his helmet and he was like, does this one fit? Yeah. Okay. Like, that was really all it was. But for whatever reason, I don't think I've ever seen that or thought about that. It made me wonder, and I'll ask Brock about it, like if you change teams, do the equipment managers talk to each other? Like, do they send the other guy an email like, hey, this guy wears X helmet and, this type of padding and this, and this, so that they have all the right stuff ready for him?
Take good care of him.
Well, just like, do you have all your measurements ready to go?
I don't know.
All right, I'll ask Brock about that when he gets in here at 7 o'clock. Anyway, cool to have Rashid Shaheed as a Seahawk, and he seems to be excited to be here.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, no major surprise here again, but Jorge Polanco did decline his player option for 2026, so he is now officially a free agent. Was set to make some $8 million with the option, so probably not a huge surprise. Given the kind of bounce back season he just had, John Morosi was speculating with Wyman and Bob yesterday as to what he could cost or get in the open market.
I think Polanco is probably in the range of 3 times 15 is probably what a fair price would be at the outset. But listen, he played so well. He was one of this team's best players in the postseason. So the Mariners have some work to do and some money to spend just to get back to being as good as they were this year. And as far as I'm concerned, they have some more work to do to be able to really get to where they want to go and win a World Series.
So I'm with every single word John just said there. Out of curiosity, off the top of your head, what was Jorge Polanco's OPS in the postseason? Just give me a guess. What do you, roughly?
800?
It was actually under 700. Isn't that crazy? He had the 2 home runs, and he had obviously that one huge hit. He only had 4 hits in the Detroit. I think it was 4 hits in one series, 3 in the other. He actually didn't do all that much. It's just that the moments he had were really enormous. I think he's the most interesting decision of the offseason. In one hand, he fits the roster perfectly, right? Switch hitter. He can play first, second, DH. The team could really use that flexibility with Cal needing the DH days, and then obviously some questions about working in young players throughout the infield, and then the open question of who's going to play first base. But you're also talking about, if Morosi's got those numbers right, ages 32, 33, 34 seasons for a player with major injury history who needed to be nursed through this past season, who hasn't had a 3-win season, according to Baseball Reference, in the last 4 years. By contrast to that, J.P. Crawford's done it in 2 of the last 3 years and 3 times in his career, and he's a year younger than Polanco. So... I fully see it. I understand the desire, and he fits better than a lot of other people. You want to give him $45 million at the expense of what that could do elsewhere? Oof, this one's going to be a really interesting and I think hard decision for the Mariners. If I had to bet, I don't know whether he's back here next year, but we'll see how this goes down.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Kraken played, honestly, one of their worst games of the year, blown out by a San Jose team that is really not all that good themselves, although they do have young talent. Plenty of problems. I'll point to this one. How about going 0 for 6 on the power play, Maura, while giving up a shorty and to another player coming out of the box? They were essentially a -2 on the power play. That's not what you're looking for, though. Congrats to Ryan Winterton. He scored his first goal in the NHL. Only 899 more to go to get to Alex Ovechkin, who scored his 900th last night. Just another milestone on a tremendous career. Did you see Jordan Bennington try to steal the puck? Did anybody see that?
Yeah, that was
hilarious. He put the puck in the back of his pants, and nobody was going to notice until the ref comes over. It's like, can we get the puck, man? Yeah. All right. I have to. It's not like he was trying to keep that for himself. I got to imagine he wanted to give it to Ovi later. That was my gut.
I would hope.
I didn't hear him talk afterwards, but my gut told me he just wanted to give it to him later. So anyway, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here in the Brock and Salk Show. The one other thing I guess I'd mention, it was all over my feed this morning, maybe yours as well, was that ESPN Bet is going to go away here in about another 3 weeks. When you first read that, you're like, oh, this has to be a reaction to what happened with the NBA story and how bad it looked, that while the ESPN was talking about it, there's the ESPN Bet stuff all over the screen, which was a bad look, or at the very least awkward. And it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with that at all. It sounds like it has a whole lot more to do with Penn Sports and some of the challenges that they have as a partner. And ESPN immediately announced a new deal with, I think it was DraftKings, to be their official, book holder and odds maker. So I don't think that's what happened. I think it's just a money thing, and one company choosing to go with another company instead. But a little bit of a surprise this morning. Okay, Joel Klatt if you like football, Joel got deep yesterday, really deep into what is making this Seahawks team successful. Stick around; you'll hear it next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in like the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom designs that let everyone know who you're rooting for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing stacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Every year we see a spike in serious accidents involving motor vehicles, bicycles, and pedestrians occurring in the few days after daylight saving time. If you are injured in an accident, protect your legal rights with an experienced team of lawyers who know how to get results. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 to request a free legal consultation or get my free book on car accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN. Seattle Sports.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Well, some fun trade conversation, Brock. A little baseball talk to mix in with what the Seahawks did yesterday at the NFL trade deadline. Obviously bringing in one of the real speedsters in the league, wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Good time and opportunity to talk to Joel Klatt about that and a whole lot more as he joins us now, as he does every week at this time. Good morning, Joel. How are you?
Good morning. What's going on? How are you?
You know, we're great. The Rashid Shaheed, I mean, just the whole day yesterday was fun in the NFL. It's cool that they're sort of getting into the trade deadline type of action the way baseball has for years and years. It's always been one of my favorite parts of the baseball season. And adding it now to the NFL season in a much more significant way, I just think it's a really cool, fun part of the football season. What'd you make of yesterday?
Yeah, and in particular because we don't have a runaway team. You know, so I think there are a lot of teams that feel like, hey, maybe we're a piece away from making a run and potentially being in a position to win our conference and play for a Super Bowl. I know, like I've talked with DJ. I know you guys talk with DJ on Tuesdays, right? And like he and I have talked about this, about how the number of teams in the NFL that feel like, hey, the breaks go their way. You know, they could be the team to beat in their conference. And so when you've got that type of dynamic, then I think the trade deadline becomes interesting, because none of these teams you would say are complete. Maybe Seattle is you know, as close to that as possible. I know that I would love for them to run the football a little bit better, but I mean, at this point we're splitting hairs. You know, Denver has problems, but they're a good team. Indy, same thing. And obviously on the NFC side, just for what the Seahawks will face, these teams that we thought were going to be great, you know, haven't panned out. Like Green Bay losing to Cleveland and Carolina. Like where did that come from?
Mm-hmm. Don't know what your schedule is, Joel, when you get home Saturday night. I know you love your kids and your wife and your family. So do you get a chance on Sundays to watch a little football? And if so, the Sunday night game was obviously Seattle and Washington this last weekend. You get a chance to dig into much of that, or is Sunday kind of a rest day?
No, I Sunday night in particular, during the day, we generally, you know, my youngest son plays fall baseball, so we're always sitting out at games, and I've got my iPad up watching film of college teams. But Sunday night's always kind of our football night in the house, which is fun. My middle guy and I, his name is Sam, and he and I are in this father-son fantasy football league. And guys, I'm a total I've never played fantasy football. Well, we drafted Jaden Daniels, so we were locked in. And unfortunately for us, it did not go our way with Jaden Daniels needing some points in that game. We should have tried to have a swap for Sam Darnold. How good was Sam on Sunday night? I mean, the efficiency was off the charts. It's like Phil Simms in the Super Bowl against the Broncos in '88. It's like wild, man. He is at one point. Didn't he complete his first like 12 or 11 at one point?
It was just 17.
Was it 17?
Yes. Yeah, it was 17.
Like the ball didn't hit the ground until the third quarter.
Yeah. And they weren't cheapies. They weren't
bubble.
And
they
he
weren't bubble
didn't even have Mark
screens
Bavaro to throw the ball to, or Phil McConkey, or
Right.
Lionel Manuel, or anybody else that Phil Simms had.
So
good poll, Salk. Look at that.
Thank you.
Salk's been studying up.
No, that's one of my favorite teams of all time.
I feel like we. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That Giants team
Yeah,
back
growing
then?
up in New England, I mean, the Patriots were so bad, and there were a lot of they were never on TV because they would have blackouts, and there were a lot of kind of leftover Giants fans around New England from before the Patriots existed. So I loved LT and Sims and loved those teams. So yeah, I probably remember those teams better than like last year's Seahawks team, unfortunately.
I was a very sad youngster watching my Broncos lose that game to the Giants.
But Sam, you're right. I mean, just unbelievable. The efficiency, the accuracy. Brock keeps bringing up how few sacks he's taken this year, and obviously he shares that stat with the offensive line. But what does it tell you what is it, Brock? 9 sacks in 8 games?
Yeah.
What does 9 sacks in 8 games tell you about the way he's playing quarterback?
Complete control of the system, processing information, incredibly quick. He's on platform, and he knows what he's looking at, and he knows where the football needs to go, and in the timing to do so, and that he has guys that can win and create spacing on time. And I think that's the one part of the equation. Everyone looks at the O-line when sack numbers. Then, more sophisticated people also look at, the quarterback and his responsibility within pass protection. But very few people actually think about or talk about what's the picture being provided to the quarterback, and are those wide receivers providing that picture, winning and creating space on time? And I think that can be at times the more difficult part. And I know we've said this, and this is not meant to be disparaging, but when Jackson Smith-Njigba, knowing what I knew of him covering Ohio State every other week for what feels like my entire career, I mean, I knew he was going to be an incredible player in the NFL. His short area quickness, his intelligence, his strength with his hands. And when he went to Seattle, it was like, it's like, really? Can we get him in an actual offense? Again, not meant to be disparaging, even though it comes off incredibly disparaging. But this offense fits him very well, and Sam fits him very well. So your question about the protection, I think, also extends to those guys that are winning on time, and JSN being the foremost of that, which is why he's excelling and been really one of the most productive receivers in the league over the last month.
What does Rashid Shaheed do for that?
Well, it extends the defense. Number one, when you put speed on the field, they have to respect that. Now, I've never felt like Sam was a great deep ball thrower, but I think he's gotten better. But what it does is it lifts the pressure off of those intermediate zones, and it allows the guys underneath him to operate with a greater amount of freedom and space. So, I mean, that's a good get, and I think that's why they got him. It's not necessarily, even though you would love some productivity from him, but it's the threat of stretch. And the threat of stretch provides space. And when you've got a guy that's carving it up like Sam, and he's on time and he's on target, when you create even just feet of more space within the system, he's going to take advantage of that.
Don't worry about being disparaging. Salk, do you remember JSN at the Super Bowl asked about his offensive coordinator after year 1 with Shane Waldron?
Yeah, good luck, he said to the people in Chicago.
I don't know if you remember that, Joel, but he was
is this thing on?
No, but
he basically asked afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was like, is this live? Oh, this is live? Oh,
good luck.
Oh, this is we can't edit this out?
No, it's too late.
It was a little rough. Hey, we spent a lot of time with DJ yesterday, most of the segment talking Sam and JSN and this offense. I want to flip it on the other side because you've been enamored with McDonald and kept relationship with him through the years. So when you watch that Seahawks defense Sunday night, just absolutely swallow 4 sacks of Jaden Daniels, calls, ultimately knocked him out of the game, just made that group pretty pedestrian. What did you see, even with backups playing still for Seattle on the back end? What did you see out of McDonald's Seahawks defense here in 2025?
For a young guy, he was young when I was dealing with him back in 2021, and he's still young. What I was always enamored with was how sound he was structurally. He never, I don't want to say never. I mean, it's like marriage and football. You never say never or always. And yet there was never a moment where I felt like, oh, he's putting himself at risk. So the structure and the way that even when he was attacking different structures on offense, I always felt like he did as good of a job as any of maintaining kind of the risk reward profile to be in his favor. It's hard to describe the specifics of that, but it has to do with rotation, specific matchups. And then the other thing, and he and I used to talk about this a lot, he was really good at attacking specific passing protection structures. And Brock, as you know, offensive coaches can get locked into certain protections or they've got big tells, center sliding away from the back, how do they do it when they flip the back, so on and so forth. And he was really good at calling things that were simple for his defense, confusing for the offense, that would attack the structure. So for instance, a very prevalent pass protection in football, both levels, is what I would call a slide protection. And it's not a full slide, but it's like a half slide to the what I would call like the weak side of the protection or the offside for the quarterback, and then a man protection on the front side. And he would do a really good job of providing structures that would unlock where the slide is happening, and then he would simply overload one side with a four-man side. And yet he would do that with rotation, not always in zone pressure, but with rotation that wouldn't skew the risk reward profile of the defense. That's what I always thought about Mike. He's a really smart guy. And the other thing that I always really enjoyed is he was humble enough to take feedback and also listen to his coaches. So he would be very blunt about like, well, I don't know this very well. And, this is a guy on our staff that does. And so he's been able to design that. And that trait, when I first learned it back in 21, I knew right away, like at some point he's going to be a very good head coach, because he's not a guy that sit there and has to know all the answers. But because of that mentality, he certainly has a lot of the answers.
In talking about this team, we've talked a lot about balance, and Mike's word is complementary. Brock's used the word alignment. One of the things that I found really interesting, and we were talking about it with DJ yesterday, is this sort of idea of playing with the safety, that trying to get teams out of the too high safety look that has come in the last few years to wreck the big passing games with Patrick Mahomes and some of those guys, and then using these big players, big personnel to take them out of it and saying, hey, we're going to be able to run the ball on you if you want to keep that other safety way back there. And then when they say, okay, well, then we're going to bring the safety up, then using the ability to throw the ball out of those same formations. Where do you think this goes? It's sort of for me, just a fascinating cat and mouse game in the NFL right now of trying to find ways to run and throw effectively.
Yeah, I mean, that's always, everything is a cycle. And, offenses tend to be copycat. And so they'll see things that are working, and then the defense has to adjust. A few years ago, like Seattle made post safety all the rage. And everyone played cover 3, post safety means single safety. Everyone did it, and then there'll be a defense that comes along and it's like, oh man, the man coverage, it takes away the RPOs and does this. And so then everyone kind of moves and so it's always cyclical. And in football, as in life, there is nothing new under the sun, and so it is the coaches and the systems that have balance. And I'm not just talking about run pass balance, but have the balance from a structure standpoint to attack whatever the weakness is on any given defense. And those are the ones that have success at each level. And then the complementary side of this, and this is not as much, in the structure of safeties and everything, But, Mike learned that from Jim at Michigan, and maybe John as well at Baltimore, but specifically Jim at Michigan. Nobody played better complementary football than Michigan. They, Jim, hey, we just going to grind the meat. And, Joel, we just got to block tackle. That's what we got to do. We got to,
strain. We got to strain.
Got to screen them, and we got to get off blocks. And but it was kind of the beauty of the simplicity of it, right? And the field position battle and how that would go. And Mike and then Jesse Minter would always talk about calling defense like playing poker. The best poker players fold 65, 70% of their hands. And so the best defensive play callers play safe structures 65, 70% of the time. And then it's not every single series, but there are going to be moments when the game allows you or your hand allows you to get aggressive. And you understand that a 3 and out at that moment, a stop at that moment is really going to hurt the opposition. Versus just trying to, everyone's like, well, they got to get a stop. Yes, you obviously want to get stops, but there are moments when those stops are more impactful. You go down and you put together a long score on the offensive side, and then you come out, maybe it's the third quarter, maybe it's a possession game, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, a 3 and out here puts them in a bind because their defense is tired and so on. And we used to have those conversations, which I really appreciated. I'll give you a quick stat. And then, Salk, I know, I'm sorry I'm long-winded.
This is great. No, by the way, Joel, that's awesome. And I'm actually
stop
really
apologizing to me and Salk. Apologize to Maura. She's got to try to cut
she's
your
interviews.
To cut
this up later.
So just say sorry, Maura.
Sorry, Maura.
But no, I think I'm all in on this conversation. I think that's a fascinating look at it.
Yep.
Let me give you an example at the college level with two teams that, everyone knows of, but you're like, well, what's going on with these two teams? Tennessee and Ohio State. Okay, both in the top 25. Tennessee loses a game to OU last week at home, a place that they don't generally lose unless it's Georgia. And you look up and you're like, it's a 16-10 ball game at half, and Tennessee was winning the yards battle 256-94. And you're like, well, how does that happen? Well, let me tell you how it happens. It happens because Tennessee has an inability to play complementary football. They go fast tempo, up tempo. They're snapping the football as fast as they can. They make one mistake, and all of a sudden it's a sack fumble, and it goes the other way. Meanwhile, OU's offense hasn't done anything. But Tennessee doesn't protect themselves with the way that they play offensive football. They go for volume over quality, and now all of a sudden you look up, and it's the exact opposite of Ohio State. See, Ohio State could score 60 points if they wanted to with that passing game. They could, but they don't. Even the Washington game is a great example of this. Ohio State did not have a play of over 20 yards against Washington, partly because they didn't feel like they needed it. All right, last week they go out and they go bombs away on Penn State in the second half because it was there for them. Okay, so here's Tennessee, and they're always trying to get to 50 or 60 points, and they're doing that through volume. Here's Ohio State, could get there, but they don't. Why? To protect their defense. So the average snaps for each of their offenses, 73 for Tennessee and 57 for Ohio State. Well, that correlates to the defensive side as well. Tennessee's defense sees well over 70 snaps of offensive football per game. Ohio State sees well under 60 snaps of offensive football per game. If you average that over a 12-game period, here's what you find is that Tennessee's defense is going to see 195 more snaps of football than Ohio State is. Well, you tell me which defense is going to be more rested and more effective. So when you think of complementary football, think of it in that equation. In game, where do you push your chips in the middle of the table to give them the most opportunity to have impact within that game? And then over the course of a season, how are you making sure that the best parts of your team are fresh, efficient, and ready to play their best?
So that almost makes the next question moot, because I know exactly what you're going to say. You've kind of already said it, but I'll ask you just for the sake of it, because I said I would, and I asked Brock earlier. Would you rather be, as the Seahawks are, 5th in the league in scoring offense, 5th in the league in scoring defense, or an absolutely dominant number one in one of those categories, but it comes at the, at the expense of the other where you're 12th or 15th or something like that.
If you ask me, like you could have one area to be a dominant area, I would say defense, because it's just one of those things where I think to be the best offense by a wide margin, you steal from your ability to be efficient on the defensive side. In a perfect world, you're exactly what the Seahawks are, or what Indiana is right now in the college game, which is top 5 in both. Because then the opposition is looking there and they're like, okay, we got to attack weaknesses today. Where's the weak link in the chain? And you're like, well, there isn't one. Why? Because they all work in tandem together. So if you told me I had to be dominant at something, it would be defense, but I would much rather be top 5 in both. Or like between 6 and 4, right in there in both categories.
Last thing here, just to quickly shift gears to the Huskies. College football rankings come out last night. They sit at 23, which is exactly where Clemson was a season ago. ASU was outside the top 25 in the first rankings a year ago. What is Jed Fish's message in the team meeting today, getting ready for the work week?
That it's real. Chase is real. They win every one of their games. I have a very good hunch that they would be getting in. The value of the Big Ten via the committee versus the AP sets them up for a process where, Oregon's got a tough end of the season stretch in November, and that a win over that Oregon team would almost certainly put them in a position as a 10-2 with the way that the committee is valuing the Big Ten as a team that would be almost certainly in. So if I'm Jed Fish, the first thing I say is like, it's real. We did it. We put ourselves in the position that we wanted to put ourselves into. And now we've just got to go out and execute. Because when they're healthy up front, this is a really good team. They weren't healthy up front against Michigan. And, they've had success against Oregon. I think, what are they, 7-3? Or they've won like 3 in a row against Oregon at Husky Stadium, something along those lines. And so I would lean on that. But my message would be it's real.
Do you know what DJ's doing next week? Did he tell you what he's doing? Because we usually talk to him on Tuesday. We're not going to get to talk to him on Tuesday.
You don't know what he's doing?
You don't know what he's doing on Tuesday. So
no.
Oh,
he's playing Augusta.
Now, here's the thing. He said it's going to be butt cold, and I was looking. We've got like one of the biggest cold fronts in history that's going to hit Middle America in the South. Like Florida's going to look at the coldest temperatures in 100
30
years.
degrees at Augusta.
Yeah, it's going to be butt cold.
That's where DJ's going to be on Tuesday. How do you feel about that? I think we've broken Joel. I'm so sorry. You apologized to us earlier. I'm going to apologize back. I knew it would have an effect. I didn't know it would be this profound.
See, Rain Man frozen?
I have no words. That is the worst poker beat I've ever experienced. My chips are in the middle of the table. I had 2 kings, and some idiot just called with ace-7 offsuit and flopped 2 aces. What?
Yep. Yeah. He just picked up golf 3 years ago, Joel.
He just started playing.
I know. I know.
Do you think it's because he looks so much like Justin Thomas? Do you think that's the
we gotta let him
secret?
Go. We gotta let him go.
You just ruined my day.
I'm so sorry. I didn't. I honestly assumed you already knew.
Now, like, he's the one guy that I've never wanted to hate, and now I might hate DJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this was bad. All right. Well, I'm sorry, Joel. I hate to end this on such a
play Augusta.
Yeah. It's such a bad note.
So this might. You haven't played Augusta.
No, God, no.
Okay, goodness gracious. You would have seen a heart attack live on the air right there.
I played Pebble. That was enough. That was amazing. Pebble was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's fine.
Incredible
That's
experience.
a public course. So
right. I know that. All right. I'm not bragging about it. I'm saying it was enough.
You're not bragging about it.
You're changing the subject now because you're all mad. You're not playing Augusta next week. That's all I know. We got to go. Goodbye, Joel. See you later. There you go. That was Joel Klatt, who left in anger. And if you want to see his reaction, it's all over Twitter. Plenty of people amazed by the shock on Joel Klatt's face. All right. Hey, we got another high school football playoff game. How about that? An extra game on the Seattle Sports Game of the Week. It's presented by STSPN, and it's the Tahoma Bears, ranked 21, taking on my number 12 Glacier Peak Grizzlies. More, that's the team I went to go speak to a couple of weeks ago, the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Nice. And their head coach, Shane Keck, that's my guy, live this Friday, 7 o'clock from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Snohomish for the first round of the 4A football playoffs. You can watch it live Friday at 7 p.m. exclusively in the Seattle Sports app, seattlesports.com, and Seattle Sports YouTube page. We'll be right back with Brock Heward, and let's see, two charts. Well, two names and two tweets in a chart. Let's call it that. 2 tweets in a chart. Next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
Sam Darnold has been sacked just 9 times this year.
Every afternoon at 2.
How much of that do you put on the pass protection he's getting versus how quickly he's getting rid of the ball?
The offensive line's doing their job, but I would say hitting a spot like 35, 40 yards downfield that's so tiny. I mean, that is really impressive, but the most rare talent to me is a guy who can move around the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed, and some things haven't. Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with good-to-go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a good-to-go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Help elevate your company's pride with workplace tips from Cintas. The right workwear helps your team look and perform their best. Cintas has work apparel for almost any job imaginable. Your team gets garments that are breathable, comfortable, and hold up to any job. Cintas even handles laundry and delivery every week with no upfront investment. It's all part of Apparel Plus from Cintas. Learn more at Cintas.com.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
The birth of the American supercar is roaring into LeMay, America's Car Museum, October 25th. Curated by racing legend Steve Saleen, this high-octane exhibition features icons like Hennessy, Shelby, Zinger, and more. Don't miss it. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Get a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the boy by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Good morning to you, Brock.
Good morning, Michael.
God, I got so much to do today. I don't have a lot of time to chit chat, but I do want to. I did want to
congratulate Lyle on being 2 for 2. That he knew the song "I'm Fat" and it was by Weird Al Yankovic. And just looking at the reason why. Do you know why, Michael? Do you know why? Because there's 88 million views of that song on YouTube.
I'm surprised that's it. I would have guessed more.
88
I'm probably good for at least 10 or 12 of them. I love Weird Al. We had a question that came up for you early this morning. I don't want to get to these 2 tweets and a chart that you sent over last night. But we had a question for you that came up this morning. Okay. For whatever reason, I got suckered into watching, and I really enjoyed it, watching Rashid Shaheed trying on his new helmet for the Seahawks. Did you see that?
Oh,
the equipment guy, and they're like, oh, is that fit? And he's like, yeah. It was very short, and it wasn't, I don't know, they didn't go into great depth. Yep. But it did make me wonder, and maybe you know the answer to this since you changed teams. When you change teams, do you have to do like a whole new fitting? Or do you carry with you, or does the equipment manager send over like your specifications, the type of helmet you like, your measurements, all that stuff?
No, typically they'll do that, right? You'll go to the equipment room, and whether you got a Nike deal or an Adidas deal or a New Balance deal, you kind of have your bevy of cleats from those manufacturers that you I want that. This is what my size is, and then
but the helmet, it comes from the team.
The helmet comes from the team, and now, I mean, these teams, they in the level of helmet and expertise with it, they measure.
That's what I wondered. Like, did they?
Yeah, they're going to want their own measurement. No, they're going to want to fit you themselves because they're liable. Yeah, right. So
I would have thought they'd have like, hey, this is my measurement. You hand it to them, like, okay, we've got that on the stock.
No, you say this is the style I like, and then they're going to measure you, and then they're going to fit you because that's what Rydell and those companies have trained each and every team to have people on staff to do that and to do it well.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
Yep. Yeah, pretty cool, though.
Do you get all new equipment, too? Like shoulder pads and all that? You don't bring with you any of the stuff that goes underneath?
I think some of the different. I think Michael Bennett brought his peewee pads from 6th grade to high school to college.
But like, does the team have like a whole thing of shoulder pads and you go choose like, I want this, I want that?
It is a coolest thing.
And do people change equipment at any point during their, like, hey, you know what? I don't like the way this has been working for me. I want to go to something that has more X, Y, and Z?
Yes, 100%.
Huh.
100%.
I've seen them switch up their, like, the cleats they wear in-game and stuff like that.
You should see the equipment room. It's unbelievable. It's like a game of Tetris. The closets, they pull one thing out and they got all these rows of this manufacturer's shoulder pads.
I would like to take a tour of the equipment room.
Okay.
Who runs the equipment room for the
that'd
Seahawks?
be Eric Kennedy. I think
Eric
I can make
Kennedy,
that
right?
happen. Oh yeah.
I would
Great guy.
I would like to see that sometime when I'm over there. I think I would be fascinated. You know who would really love that?
Huh?
Kyle Brown.
Yes, he would.
I think we've got to find a way for me and Kyle to go tour.
And you remember the
equipment
movie
room.
Strange Brew?
Yes.
When they had to pee and put out the fire. I think that's about the size of their washers and dryers. It is
Okay.
enormous as well.
Those
Pretty
are
sure
it.
G. Scott's close with Eric Kennedy.
I know G is,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but I don't want to ask G for a favor. It comes with it, then
No,
it's like
EK's
the
my guy.
Godfather. You got to
So,
give favors back.
Next time we're
later.
down there, EK is my guy. We'll make that happen.
All right,
He's
I would like to
everybody's
see
guy.
that, and I would like to bring Kyle with me because I feel like he would love it and would ask a lot of good questions. All right, sorry to start the show with something that was just incredibly interesting to me. Hopefully, it's interesting to you. Brock, you sent over this last night, and I'll see if we can go through it in just 4 minutes. But Pro Football Focus has Sam Darnold as its midseason MVP.
Yes.
Jackson Smith and Now, see, now those guys yesterday got in my head. Mike and the Mad Dog. Jackson Smith and Jigba as their offensive player of the year.
Yep.
Does it feel that way? I can't argue with it.
Yep.
I can't argue with either of those things based on what they've seen, especially JSN. The numbers speak for themselves, right?
It does feel that way, but it feels so out of context, so out of even the reasonable expectations for both of those guys. It feels, honestly, like Cal Raleigh, where he's already hit like 40 home runs at the All-Star break. Like, this is just, how is this possible? How has he done? He's been a good player, but now he's a totally elite player. And how is JSN taken? And there was a lot of, right? There was a lot of the narrative of, oh, well, you just wait. You wait till DK leaves. DK took so much of the attention, and you just got to work the middle of the field and yada, yada, yada. And, yeah, what's happened is DK's left, and he's more than filled the void in a way that I don't think anybody saw coming. 8 games into the year, if you would have wrote down numbers.
Yeah.
And I would have wrote down numbers, and more on Lyle, and we would have put him in a time capsule and said, okay, on November 6th, right before the Arizona game, we're going to open this time capsule halfway through the season, and let's see how close our numbers are. Sam Darnold over 2,000 yards. Sam Darnold 17 touchdowns, 5 picks. Sam Darnold over 70% completion.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Sam Darnold 116 QB rating. Like, Sam Darnold, the most explosive passer in the NFL down the field.
Yeah.
JSN on pace for 2,000 yards. Come on.
Yeah, I found myself thinking about these yesterday, and I think for me, Darnold's still going to need some late game heroics and some signature moments to actually win the MVP at the end of the year. I think it takes some of that to win that award and to deserve that award, but that just hasn't really come up yet. So that's not a knock on him.
2 Rams games will define
Right.
that.
This is also a scout's award, right? I mean, this is about scout grading stuff. So I think it makes more sense. He's really graded out very well. He's barely made any mistakes. He's not just playing safe. But it did kind of get me wondering about something, Brock, and maybe trying to take this to the next level. It makes me wonder, and maybe this is where a guy like, you mentioned EK or Kennedy, maybe this is where a guy like him shows up. And all the people behind the scenes, I know if G were here, he would instantly say that this is a big part of it. The culture that is built in this organization that's not just a coach, not just the players, but actually is something in the fabric of the organization. Maybe it starts with ownership and trickles down. But Matt Hasselbeck, Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, and Sam Darnold have all been at their best here in Seattle. And it's not close. The last 4 quarterbacks that started, more than a few games for this team have all been significantly better in Seattle than anywhere else. Now, I know Darnold's story is maybe a little bit different, where it looked at last year he started to turn that corner in Minnesota, so that one is maybe a bit of an outlier. I'm not blind to what happened last year. But Matt Hasselbeck was, not drafted, floating around in Green Bay. They trade for him. He has now, granted, it was the prime of his career. I know there's a lot of other ways to explain all of this. But then afterwards, he didn't do a tremendous amount in the league. Russell Wilson came here as a 3rd-round pick. It wasn't like he was a top pick. Blossomed into being a Hall of Fame worthy conversation, left here and was an abject disaster for the last 4 years. Geno Smith was an abject disaster before he got here, had some really good seasons, has gone to the Raiders, and is now awful again. And certainly the beginning of Sam Darnold's career was not great, and as well as he played last year wasn't as well as he's playing now. What's going on here in Seattle? Is it the water? Is it Eric Kennedy and Mo Kelly and the people behind the scenes? Like, what is it?
Well, I think there's been one constant through those 4 guys, and that's John Schneider. And John Schneider was
not
pretty...
through Hasselbeck, but yes.
Oh, well, I guess he kept Matt around. right? When
But
he and
Matt's
Pete were
best,
together.
Matt's
9,
best
10,
years
11,
were well before John Schneider.
That's true. That's fair. Now, John was there when I was there in 99, 2000. And so, I think John's a part of it.
Yeah.
And John was really good in Green Bay with a couple quarterbacks and like just about everywhere he's been. And we've talked about that before. Some of the people that he didn't get in the draft that he really wanted have become some of the best players in the game. So his eye, I think, for that position is pretty darn good.
Very.
And then, yes, the stability of this place. And you laugh at me every time I say it, notice it is alignment. That matters.
I'm not laughing. I think you're absolutely right.
I mean, those things truly, truly matter when everybody is on the same page as Paul and the president and the GM, and now Jody and the president and the GM and the head. Like they're aligned. They're all and if we did this show in so many other markets, if we were on the flip side of this battle on Sunday with that organization. And just the dysfunction that they have had with the Bidwells and their GMs and their coaches.
Well,
and it's just
there's some other stuff in here. Greg Tex from Moses Lake saying it's because they don't rely on those quarterbacks to do everything. They trust the defense and the run game. And I think that's true. I think it's 3 pretty good coaches in a row I may take more out of it, but Holmgren and Pete and now Mike. I mean, like there's a lot of other things that all come together. But yeah, I don't know. It just sort of jumped out to me. And you know what seems to be helping this year, and I'm sure it relates to the chart you sent over, Brock, which has the Seahawks as the 4th best pass protection team in the league. Yeah. Who would have thought that improving the offensive line might actually help the quarterback and wide receiver be better? Go figure. And that committing to the run would help protection as well. So there's a lot of great stuff. I would like to continue to get into this, but we got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. I've got some baseball sound that we've got to react to at 7:30. I ended up doing about an hour-long show with Shannon and Ryan Rowland Smith yesterday that got me all up in a tizzy as well. So, Brock, we'll talk some baseball in 20 after Need to Know next.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
You and I got into a debate. They needed to make a statement. You were like, they're a good team that's kind of flown under the radar, but I think they like that.
To me, I use the word like signature win. I guess you can't make a statement, but I like signature. I like that because signature win is like, all right, be the team you're supposed to beat, like dominate this game. We want to feel like this game is over by halftime, and that's what they did.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710, Seattle Sports on YouTube, and the Seattle Sports app.
Nobody hooks you up like Popeyes. The Big Box is the reward that keeps on rewarding. Crack it open and you're greeted by 2 pieces of crispy signature chicken. Or if you want, 3 tenders, nestled in there with the 2 sides speaking to you most in this moment. You got that biscuit, and what are you waiting for? Dig right on in. That's feast mode activated. And you're in Big Box business for $6. Love that chicken from Popeyes. At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Ryan Rowland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at MBAHealthTrust.com. That's MBAHealthTrust.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
Your time is money, so why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, Brock, mostly good news, I thought, on the injury report. Not perfect, but mostly good. And certainly Ernest Jones listed as what would have been a limited participant. It was just a walkthrough, so it was like an estimate of what would have happened. But again, seeing the injury in person, when it happened live, thought that could be a while, maybe season ending, who knows? And instead, he might play this week.
He's working through it, he's going to be part of our walkthrough. We'll see how much he does in the actual ACT. So I'm sure he'd be limited to some capacity today, and then we'll see tomorrow.
Doesn't
you know
it feel
hard
like
it is to take an ACT and then go practice? It's hard. It drains you mentally. It's really difficult.
Yeah, more of an SAT guy myself, I got to tell you. But I for some reason doubt he'll play this week. Doesn't it feel a little bit like he doesn't play this week and then he's good to go for LA?
I don't know. That's one of those things that it can really scare you. And just when you feel someone roll into your knee and maybe you felt a little something at the time, and then a couple days later you're like, yeah, I really did dodge a bullet right there. So I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Cooper Kupp's going to play.
Well, you say that, but listening to Mike, I mean, this is what McDonald said yesterday about whether or not he was able to play or close to playing last week.
I'm not going to say close or not close, but he wanted to play. It was the best thing for him not to. I mean, the guy's a stud. He's going to do everything possible to play, and it's up to us to make the best decision, for him and for the team.
Read my lips, Salk. He's not going to play
All
Sunday,
right. I believe
okay?
you. When you say
They're going to
things
be
like
very
that.
careful. After the Julian Love situation, right,
Yeah.
where I think they tried to come back, and then you re-injured it. Now you're on the IR. They do not want to go down that path. And with the Rams the following week, and
Well,
and
these
now
two
you trade for
ex-Rams, right? Don't you think these two
Shaheed.
ex-Rams would really like to be in those games against
I
the
would think so.
Rams? Yeah.
I would think so.
Bobo, Job, Cup, Derek Young, all non-participants, and 3 of those guys, yes, are wide receivers. So part of the reason, I'm sure, why Rashid Shaheed is here and trying on new helmets. And sounds like he's already looking to stick around.
Can be a free agent at the end of the year. Is that anything on your mind now as you come here, or you just kind of worry about that later?
No, I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay, man. So I'm excited. We can figure something out after the off season, or after the season ends. But yeah, I'm excited.
You're looking at this as your new home?
Long term, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. I've been here for 4 or 5 hours. Long term.
San Diego guy.
How about that? I don't know. This dude seems awesome. I'm psyched to watch him play on Sunday.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, this should be about as unsurprising as the Munoz and Garver news yesterday, but no major surprise. Jorge Polanco has declined his player option for 2026.
What?
He will be a free agent. He was going to make like $8 million in the option, so not a huge surprise, especially when John Morosi gave his market as being a little bit more robust yesterday with Wyman and Bob.
I think Polanco is probably in the range of 3 times 15 is probably what a fair price would be at the outset. But listen, he played so well. He was one of this team's best players in the postseason. So the Mariners have some work to do and some money to spend just to get back to being as good as they were this year. And as far as I'm concerned, they have some more work to do to be able to really get to where they want to go and win a World Series.
3 years, $45 million for age 32, 33, and 34 on Jorge Polanco. He is, to me, Brock, the most interesting decision. Because I can write you 2 completely opposite stories on Jorge Polanco. I can give you the positive story, which is awesome. Switch hitter who can play first, second, and DH. And you could that's a great fit on this roster, especially this roster, because of the need to be able to let Cal DH on some days and have a DH that can also play in the field a little bit because of the young players at second base, because of the switch hitting capability. The Mariners are a uniquely great fit for Jorge Polanco. You're also talking about, as I said, age 32 through 34 seasons for a player who's had all kinds of injury problems, who needed to be nursed through the last season, who hasn't had a 3-win season in the last 4 years. He's only has not had a single 3-win season in the last 4 years, according to Baseball Reference. Just by contrast, J.P. Crawford's done that in 2 of the last 3 years. So, like,
I wish I was naive and ignorant, and I could say something like, "How selfish of him! They believed in him, they had an option, and he decides to do that's. I'm done with him."
Yeah, no.
Gosh, I really wish I was naive.
Yeah, that's not really how this goes.
No.
I asked Lyle and more earlier. I'll ask you, what do you think his OPS was in the postseason?
In the Detroit series, I think it was really high. I think it kind of mirrored some of the regular season of ups and downs. OPS overall was at 900.
It's like 700, under 700. It was like 704 in one series and 680 in the other.
Yeah,
like it was not nearly what you think it was because of
he
a
had
couple big
great
hits.
games.
Although he was still the clutchest player in baseball.
He was, absolutely. I mean, like, you can kind of write these stories both ways with him. It's why, to me, he's the most interesting conversation, of the pending free agents here for the Mariners.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
The Kraken game was not interesting at all last night. They just got their tail kicked in by a mediocre San Jose team who does have a good young star. Plenty of problems. Brock, let's point to this one. 0 for 6 on the power play. That's not going to get it done, especially when you also give up a shorthanded goal and another goal to a player literally coming out of the box to score. So you were essentially -2 on the power play.
That was a real stinker. That was kind of their first
bad.
real stinker.
Yeah.
After a nice home win and at home again and a couple days, this not been a demanding homestand.
Yep. We'll throw a little congrats at Ryan Winterton. He gets his first goal in the NHL. Avery was very happy about that. And pretty cool to see Alex Ovechkin score number 900 last night. Just another milestone on a great career. I'll say this. I don't know how much
he looks like Methuselah.
He might be Methuselah.
He looks there's certain
Cole was
guys
so
like
sick yesterday, though.
Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Warren Moon, when they played into their mid-40s, they
Yeah.
didn't look that old. He looks like Y.A. Tittle.
It's awesome.
It's unbelievable.
Well, he's lived some of those 2-for-1s that you talk about. But that's kind of the NHL right now. Like, you've got 3 or 4 generations all playing well at the same time. Like, Crosby is still really good. Ovechkin's still putting up goals. Marchand still playing. Like, some of these older guys are playing really well. And then you got the group in their prime, like McDavid and McCarr, McKinnon, some of those players. And then some of the youngsters. I don't know if you got a chance to see Macklin Celebrini last night. He's awesome. He's really good, threatens the defense constantly, and he's one of a whole bunch of really young players over the last year or two that are excellent as well. So that league's in pretty good shape in terms of star power. Just need the Kraken to find one of them at some point. That is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show.
He's only 40. He honestly looks like he's 60. He could pass for 60.
He's got real good hands, though, man. Those hands are real smooth.
I mean, when I saw him play last year, my takeaway was legitimately, this guy doesn't try.
And did he score in that game?
I think he had a couple assists.
He doesn't need to try.
It's like Messi. Watch a Messi game. It's like he stands there for 90% of it. But when it's go time, or there's an opportunity to score and he knows it, he still can do things with his feet. And this guy does it with his stick that is just generational.
So that Polanco conversation, Brock, bleeds into a whole lot bigger, messier, intriguing, interesting.
Did you get Ryan and Shannon all stirred up too?
No, I probably talked too much in this thing, and I feel bad. I felt like I was a little. It was during nap time, and I feel like I was a little cranky, and I feel like I was a little much. So I want to apologize out loud to Shannon and Ryan for hijacking some of the conversation yesterday. But I think it does lead to some good debate next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
Oh, man. Let's talk about retirement, guys. Let's talk about what that portion of your life is going to look like when you're done working every day and you get an opportunity to travel or sleep later, whatever it is that's important to you. Those are just a couple things that are always on my mind, especially on cold, dark, gray, rainy days like today. Well, you got to start planning now. You really do. It takes a long time to accumulate what you need to, and then you got to figure out how you want to take some of those disbursements, and you need help. That's why you talk to Trajan Wealth. You can call them at 206-466-3300. Maybe you got an old 401k that you're not sure what to do with. Maybe you need tax help and trying to make sure you're being efficient with the way you're paying taxes. Well, those are part of their core philosophies, like low expenses, manager tenure as well. Just a couple key qualities that differentiate a Trajan Wealth portfolio from their competitors. Call them today. Schedule that complimentary introductory meeting to learn more. 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More.
Fast internet speeds. Got the gigs to go big, bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Later you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas, and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building, with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Texter here says comparing Polanco's WAR to JP is dumb. Look at the WAR bump JP gets just for having his name in the lineup at shortstop. No, I know that's a part of it. Of course, there's an added value there at short, but that's part of the point. Like, how much money do you want to spend for a player that's mostly going to DH or play first or play, a somewhat limited second base? That's part of the conversation around how deeply you want to go down the hole with Jorge Polanco. I don't know. I like what this is part of what I got into a little bit with Shannon and Ryan yesterday. And I think, Brock, it in some ways reflects back to the conversation or debate that you and I had near the end of the day yesterday, where you were asking me about Tarek Skubal and what I want in. And my reaction was, yeah, after you
just
go
not
ahead.
right now.
Yeah, just not right now. Like, I need to know what your team looks like before I want to commit to doing something like that. And I think it's what Morosi was just saying. You got a lot of work to do just to get back to where you were.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I can't shake the fact that 3 of your 4 infield positions are now free agents. So, like, I was talking to them, and I think at some point, Ryan, I forget who it was, said, well, you really like, 5-6 guys. I was like, do you? You had a 6-man lineup, really, during the postseason, and 3 of those 6 are now free agents. Like, I'm not saying that you can't get back
That'd
to
be
where
Polanco,
you were.
Naylor, and
Geno.
Oh, okay.
Right? I mean, like, I know he didn't perform necessarily the way you wanted him to in the postseason, but I think you would look at it and say the threat of their lineup was 6 deep. And 3 of those guys are, as of today, free agents. Maybe 1 or 2 of them will return. That would be great. And if they do, you get to have a conversation where you immediately bring your level back up to where you were. But I'm with Morosi. I think you've got work to do to get back to where you were at the end of the year. And then you can have some of those conversations about guys like Skubal.
It's like that great VRBO we rented for a couple weeks in San Diego.
Okay.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Soccer tournament down there. We did a little extended family around the holidays. It was amazing. It was like right there, kind of by the racetrack. They have like a horse
Del Mar?
track. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
But then after 2 weeks of renting it, it was a rental after all. We had to leave. And, now trying to figure out what's the next vacation going to look like? This is the blessing and the curse of the rentals. It was an amazing rental situation with Geno and Naylor. Exceeded all real expectations, especially with Josh. But now that's over. That lease is done. And what's the next one going to look like? How big of a market could Polanco truly really have, though? I mean, a year ago there was nothing. Remember,
But then he went out and had a bounce back year.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you heard from Morosi. Morosi said 3 years, 45.
He's also 30 what?
31. These will be his age. It'll be his age 32 season. Right. I'm just going with Morosi's numbers. I mean, I don't know exactly. I don't have eyes on 29 other teams, but I'll trust Morosi. He's got a pretty good idea on that stuff.
Officially begins tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Tomorrow afternoon, I think it's 5:00 Eastern time or something like that.
So this is the legal tampering period we're in right now.
Yes, this is something like that. No, I'll go with Morosi. I think he's probably right that the market would dictate somewhere in that range. And if it's 3 years, 45, you want to sign Jorge Polanco?
That feels kind of rich.
Okay. So, but that's why I start right. Okay, so Josh Naylor. What if Josh Naylor doesn't come back? So now Josh Naylor, and by the way, whether he comes back or not, it's probably going to take a while to figure out. Whoever said here the other day, might have been Lyle, maybe he waits until after Pete Alonso signs. Okay, well, that could take a while. So now let's say you're into December and you still don't know what's going on with Josh Naylor. Do you feel more of a pressing need then to bring Polanco back at 3 years, 45? Like that, it's really interesting in a hurry.
I am curious too, and I get the sense that the baseball cards held by Boris and these other agents, they play way closer to their vest than the NFL agents and the NFL GMs and the comfort levels, truly. And not only a legal tampering period, the illegal tampering period that happens in Indianapolis, where you get a real feel for what the market conditions are. Whether you can get that guy signed or not or whatever, those numbers change a little bit here or there. By and large, at that gathering in Indy, that is where kind of all the agents and all the teams are like, I think this is going to be the range for your guy. Yeah, this is where
that just doesn't happen in baseball. That is just not how that goes. And if all of a sudden one team decides, we could really use Jorge Polanco. Let's give him 4 years and $60 million. Okay, all of a sudden that's the new market for Jorge Polanco. Here's a little bit of John Morosi yesterday with Wyman and Bob.
The macro point I'll make about the Mariners infield is you have not just Polanco, but Naylor and Suarez, all free agents. That is a part of the club that needs some attention. Williamson, certainly you love the glove. Is he able to play every day? You don't know based on the bat. What's Cole Young's situation? How close is Emerson to helping? They need, I think, at least 2 veterans for this infield, and maybe even 3. I think the Mariners will make a legitimate effort as you talk about different options. There's 2 significant Japanese bats coming over this offseason. Munetaka Murakami, a big-time lefty bat, and then Kazuma Okamoto, a big-time righty bat, who are both corner infielders. Both would fit the Mariners well, I believe. And so I think those are 2 names to watch carefully.
Don't tell that to Lyle. He doesn't seem to think that either one of those guys fits the Mariners all that well, with a lot of risk there with some potential reward. So,
see, I think it's second and third. You have a little bit of leverage. right? And this isn't a, like, oh, I gotta win this and I gotta dominate this, even though the Mooney deal, the Cal deal, the Julio deal have all been very, very team favorable as far as, return on investment and value and everything that you've gotten onto those contracts. I think you do have for a Polanco and certainly Suarez, like, we do love you, and this is number, but we also have some young guys that are bubbling up here. Arroyo would be another one, that would be one of those two possible positions that has had a tremendous rise through the minor leagues as well. Colt Emerson,
but what is that? What do you think that leverage does for you?
What do I think it does for the Mariners in that negotiation? I think that gives you a little room in that negotiation that we don't need you like maybe we did a year ago.
Right. I would agree with that. But I think, unfortunately, in the world of baseball, as you just said, where the market kind of is what it is and it's not just set by a few people, that leverage doesn't mean as much. Like, yeah, okay. Oh, so you don't think I fit? Cool. I'll go sign somewhere else. Like, I don't like, oh, you like Cole Young?
But that's somewhere else.
Cool.
Also,
I'll go to Houston.
Two-thirds of the league doesn't really play in that pool. I mean, look at budgets, look at cuts, look at contracts, look at free agency over the last few years.
2/3, though, man. I think it's at least half.
I don't know.
I mean, the Mariners are about halfway down, and they're playing in that pool. So at least half the league plays in it, and I would say it probably goes a little deeper than that. I think
there's a real deep end. There's a
yes, obviously there's a real deep end.
Yes,
but other than that, I think close to 2/3 of the league plays in the free agency pool and could sign a Jorge Polanco. I mean, I think probably half could sign a Josh Naylor. Like, those teams are out there, and it only takes one. So their leverage is great. And I do want to see some of these young guys mixed in. I do. I don't know that I want to see all of them mixed in at the same time. That, to me, is where you get some of this push and pull. Like, would I be cool seeing Cole Young play second base? Yeah. I'd be cool giving him the job at second base, especially knowing that you got a Leo Rivas in your system who could also kind of mix and match in there. I'm good with that.
And Bliss, who was your, starting
like there's some ways to make that work. Do I want to give Cole Young the job at second and give Ben Williamson or Colt Emerson the job at third and trust the Dominic Canzone and like that starts to get a little too much for me. And oh, by the way, you got a question in left field as to what you want to do with Randy Arozarena. Do you want to pay him the big money, more than $20 million that's owed to him if you keep him around this year?
Lyle and I had a fun exercise, by the way, last week with the left fielders. Lyle went through every opening day left field starter of the last 10 years.
It's a rough list.
I mean, I was trying to get Brock to appreciate Randy a little bit more. It's like, you should probably think about who the Mariners have ran out there in left field the last decade.
And I'm with you. You know I love Randy, and I still think he can be an impact player, but I can also write you a script where he did not perform anywhere near at that level in the second half of the season, and especially in the postseason. And he didn't get on base, and he stopped running. And Ryan was saying yesterday that he had a hamstring issue that was bothering him really throughout the year, which kept him from running after the beginning of the season. So, like, the only things I know are center field and catcher. Everything else to me is a conversation, including shortstop, including right field. And oh, by the way, kind of like hanging over all of this is what's a reasonable expectation for Cal Raleigh next year? Are you expecting 60 home runs again? I'm not. Maybe I should be, but I think it's hard to expect 60 home runs.
He won't even be on my most intriguing
All right,
list.
Enough. But what's a reasonable expectation? Does he go back to 30, 35? Do you now expect 45 home runs? Like, how many home runs do you expect Cal to hit next year? Top of your head. Give me an over-under.
45.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 45 would be my number. 60 feels unrealistic, and 30 feels like, unless there's injury, right? I mean, if he's fully healthy and he catches 115 games or 110 games and he DHs another 40, like, yeah, I would say 45 would be a reasonable. And remember, that number 45 is like the second most home runs ever by a catcher in
that's
history.
Still a really hard
Salvi
number.
at 48, and I think it was Bench at 45. So, yeah.
I'm probably a little lower than that. I'd probably be in like 38. Would be about my
Well, that's
my
you
range.
and Szymborski.
I was
You guys
about
are
to
the
say
same
38
thing.
to 40.
Yeah, that would kind of be my range of what I would actually expect. Now, none of these are negative. None of these are out here saying, well, the Mariners are going to take a step back. I got the 360 saying, sounds dangerously like a retreat year. No, I don't think I'm saying that at all, nor am I being negative about this. I just...
It's you know what it is like? It is oh gosh, what's the restaurant down there? It's with the enormous menu. What is it?
Cheesecake Factory.
Yes, it's like a Cheesecake Factory menu. You have a lot of options. You have like 15 different ways this could go.
Yes.
I think that's very, add that context. This is not a negative deal. This is like, well, do I want the jalapeno poppers? Do I want that, jumbo? Do I, what is the Cheesecake Factory? You have just about every food item in America.
Have you ever been to a Cheesecake Factory that actually lists the caloric value of everything on the menu?
Yeah, and then you don't want to order anything.
You want to literally get out and vomit. Like, oh,
if I have an appetizer, an entree, and a piece of cheesecake, it's 6,000 calories.
Oh, it's more than that. That's not even close. There's no way you could do those three things for under 6,000 calories. Zero. No chance. Absolutely none.
What is it, the armadillo eggs?
That's like 28,000 calories, Brock, for what you just said. 28,000 would be my number. No, I say all these things because if you're Justin and Jerry, you better have a really clear plan of what you want to do. And you've also going to have plans B, C, D, E, F, G, and H because of all of the different ways and all of the things that are out of control.
Kind of be ready to pivot.
I would say even more so. I would say it is probably, you would probably have to be even more flexible with more choose your own adventures.
Yeah, in volume, but as far as you've got your
big
stars.
Things. Yeah. No, that's
true. You don't
true.
have DK and Geno, and you don't have your major.
No, that's fair.
But you better be ready to pivot to what the market is doing.
Football, you can also have a pretty clear idea of what to expect from that player year to year. I don't even know what to expect out of Cal and Julio, and they're the two players I feel the best about. All of those are just ways of saying, like, they've got to be realistic about it. They've got to look at it and say, okay, what if Cal goes back to 38 home runs next year and is a great player but not an MVP? But maybe Julio has a 45 home run. Like, they've got to look at some of the ranges of possibility and then say, okay, how do we build the best team around it? And then add the pitching conversations in. Honestly, Brock, there are so many cool ways for this Mariner offseason to go, but you've got to actually think through the various iterations, or as you like to say, machinations for how it happens.
Of them too. Yeah.
Let's throw ramifications in there as well. All right. That conversation is far from over, but we'll do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Oh, man. I feel bad about this. This isn't my goal. 360 says all that conversation just makes me feel so much more bummed that we couldn't get it done this year. It's almost like you got to rebuild half your team just to try to get back somewhere where you've never been up until this last year. I'm sorry if it feels that way. That does not make it feel that way to me. To me, this is exciting. This is the opportunity. This is what makes baseball so fun, is trying to figure out what you're going to do in all of these interesting spots. A lot of them will end up being filled by what you've already got. But you can't fill all of them that way. Some of them will end up being filled with young players. You can't fill all of them that way. Some of them will be filled with a free agent or a trade, but you can't fill all of them that way. So deciding in which spots you want to utilize each of the weapons or clubs in your bag, to me, that's what makes baseball so fun and makes this so interesting, and then trying to build an even better mousetrap than you had last year and still know that you can add to it and change it mid-season just like you did last year.
That's right. That's what that's a promise that I'm going to make through this whole offseason, is to not have such a short-sighted memory. That the acquisition phase, and with this team going to the playoffs 2 of the last 4 years and the ALCS run, that July acquisition phase was hypercritical to both of those runs. And to see where the thing started, look at the starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do that later in the show.
Yeah, Shannon kind of brought up the idea of a first half and second half
opening day lineup of the Seattle Mariners in 2025. Go look at who that was.
Yeah.
Compared to what started.
You're using Dylan Moore, and you're using
Ryan Bliss.
Yeah, and Rowdy Tellez and all of that. So, yeah, things can change pretty rapidly over the course of a season. All right, 3 football questions, Brock. Sorry about that. Question number 1. Give me an area as good as it's been, the Seahawks defense could go and be even better.
Yeah, I like this. This was Brandon Mebane, Bam Bam, as he was called. He's on that Reset each and every week. Have you heard of the Reset podcast, Salk? Our friend G. Scott's got it. It's called the Reset, and this was spot on. I'll give you some data to back it up. Here was Mebane.
Focus on getting some turnovers, man. I'm telling you, that's the one thing I would say that is kind of is there. They got the potential, but it's like add on to what y'all got. Sack calls, fumbles, forced fumbles, interceptions, like whatever it takes to tip balls, all that stuff, picks.
You know how many turnovers? Takeaways.
I know
the
they're
2013 team created.
A lot.
In 2013, that defense and special teams created 39.
That's
takeaways.
A lot.
16 games. 16.
That's a lot.
So we're halfway through the year at 8. You double it, Seahawks would have 20 this season. And by the way, they're 10 right now, ranks 11th in the league, so they're not at the bottom.
And their
by the way,
interceptions, they were, I think, 4th.
and they've dropped 4 or 5 interceptions this year. Mr. Job and Darian Kendrick, they've had the ball in their hands 3, 4, 5 times. So they've gotten the sacks. They're top 5 in the league there, top 5 in so many other areas. But that is the one game where you're kind of waiting, right? Like the Bears got with the Colts. Here was 6, or whoever the Colts played this last week, Steelers. Here's 6. Here's 6 takeaways in one game. You kind of waiting for one of those games that really helps propel those numbers and those stats. But Bain's right. You want to go from a great defense to a generational defense like that crew was. Go take the ball.
Don't you
away
think the fumbles have a lot to do with that as well, though? Like you've gotten the interceptions, you just haven't had the fumbles.
Correct.
And how much of that is fumble luck, and how much of that is kind of out of your control?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Question number 2. Specific here to this big matchup on Sunday, Brock, as they take on the Cardinals. Give me a couple strengths of this Cardinals team. It's not going to be anything having to do with Kyler Murray. Oh yeah.
No, and kind of like the Mariners opening day lineup to the end of the year lineup, this Arizona lineup that we saw in the desert a few weeks ago, right on that Thursday primetime game, very different. And most importantly, a quarterback, right? They've got their just kind of steady Eddie. And whereas Jacoby Brissett, not light years ahead, if you remember that game, as the Seahawks jumped on him and got ahead and actually got a couple picks off Kyler, they also got him off the field on seemingly every third down till the fourth quarter, right? And then they converted third downs and fourth downs and a couple touchdown drives. Jacoby Brissett is 70% on third down and a QB rating of 129. If there's any area that Jonathan Gannon can call Kyler Murray's agent and say you're going on IR because you don't do it in these clutch situations, in the red zone, in third down, situational football. And this guy for us has given us a chance to win every game he started. Third downs will be hyper critical Sunday afternoon. The other area is they've kind of got their young studs. So we talk about Eamon Warry, and we talk about Byron Murphy, and we talk about the high-end draft picks. The Seahawks didn't see Will Johnson, corner out of Michigan, good player, second-round pick. They did not see Walter Nolan, their first-round defensive tackle that is spicy, that is very dynamic and athletic, one of the top recruits in the country coming out of high school. And, his first game out, sack, couple tackles for loss, was very, very active. So they will be a pressure front, just as they were the first time. How many sacks has Sam Darnold taken through 8 games, Salk?
9.
And who has 3 of those 9? Who had 3 of those 9?
The Cardinals.
That would be the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
So a third of the sacks came in that game, and that was without some of these dudes. So, Sam in the pressure package and the blitz package this week, it's going to be on some extra.
It must have been the deafening
steady
noise from the Red Sea, Brock, that made it so hard for the offense to communicate down there. Here's question number 3. I knew you were, as soon as I saw this I knew you were going to go here. How's Mike McDonald, Brock? How is he channeling Chris Peterson?
What do you mean?
I knew this
Stars?
was coming. Not stars. Here we
We're talking
go.
about stars?
Just, our type of guy. And, there's a presence. There's a difference to him out on the field that he's a playmaker. Obviously, the speed's real and making plays down the field, things like that. But he obviously felt like he's a great player, too. So we had an alignment. It was Clint. It was our personnel folks. And John can worry about all the compensation and all that. But it was great.
Gosh, check my boxes.
Our kind of guy, huh?
Check. Alignment check. Didn't say our kind of guy. He made it his own. Our type of guy.
Sure.
He's an OTG.
Totally different.
Not an OKG.
It's totally different.
Totally
different.
He's our type of guy.
A lot of people
That's
didn't like that
important, man.
OKG thing.
Our kind of guy?
Yeah.
No, just G didn't like it. He acted like millions of other people didn't like it. He didn't like that kind of guy.
He didn't like that at all.
No, he didn't.
He's not a fan of that OKG thing.
No, he's
at
not.
all.
I wonder if he's a fan of OTG.
I don't know.
Our
We
type
can
of
ask
guy.
him. I just saw
I'll
him
tell you
walk
this.
in.
They seem to have a real feel and an understanding to actually add a layer of conversation to this, of figuring that out this offseason. their draft picks, their type of guys. From Gray Zabel to Eamon Wari to all the rest. DeMarcus Lawrence, Cooper Kupp, their type of guys. And even, some of the other add-ons that they've, the late round picks and street free agents, like these are our type of guys. And getting on that same page of John Schneider's got his type of guy,
sure.
Mike McDonald's got his type of guy, and those two things blending together perfectly this offseason, a big reason their personnel is where it's at.
All right, that is today's Blue 88. We do it every morning at 7:45, and we have our own types of guys and gals who leave us messages every week, Brock, for Here's the Thing. Morris put them together. They sound a little weird this week. I think... what did you say? Oh, yes, I know what a lot of them have to do with. Okay.
Weird is a good description.
All right, stick around. We'll hear it next. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
It's the Hawks Player Spotlight.
Tight end A.J. Barner is with us. How are you, man?
Doing well. It's good to be on here.
Brought to you by Three Tree Roofing.
The rookie on this O-line, Gray Zabel, is with us.
Sam is an elite quarterback.
Going deep with a different Hawks player every day at 3:30 with Wyman and Bob on Seattle Sports.
Every time he walks into the huddle, we know we got a chance for a big play.
Nick Eamon Wari is with us.
I felt good physically going into the game.
Catch up on every Hawks Spotlight on Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
The birth of the American supercar is roaring into LeMay, America's Car Museum, October 25th. Curated by racing legend Steve Saleen, this high-octane exhibition features icons like Hennessy, Shelby, Zinger, and more. Don't miss it. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always moving the chains. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Seaport Airlines. If airport slowdowns and delays have you rethinking your trip, well, there's an easier way to fly. Seaport Airlines flies TSA-free with service between Portland Business Aviation and Seattle's Boeing Field. No delays, no stress. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7. so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Oh boy, we'll see what the people have in store on what was Halloween week, Brock, and everything else that's been going on.
By the way, congratulations to you and Lyle Amora. And really so many of the audience that, well, we know the audience stretches globally, but those of you in the Pacific Northwest, congratulations for enduring yesterday. I'm reading in the paper of record that yesterday was the wettest day of the year yet.
I think yesterday might have been the
Felt like
wettest
it.
day of all time.
I went to dinner last night to get some pho, which was appropriate for the weather, but there was rivers of water you had to cross when you walked across the street.
I don't know if you saw the news.
It was officially the wettest day of 2025.
Yeah, I think it was the wettest day of the 21st century. It was so freaking horrible out yesterday and all last night, and then there was lightning and torrential rain and wind. I mean, I just freaking hate it. I hate it so much. Here's the thing. Make me feel better.
Brock Heward doesn't just hate one kid.
I am so disappointed in Michael Salk.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're mindless. Love you, bye.
It's time for Brock and Salk's Here's the Thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
All right, we got to get right into these, Brock. There's a lot, and I think there's some good ones, I think, just based on the description. So let's start with Kevin.
Here's the thing. I know we're a week past Halloween, but we have to revisit the candy list. Mike, perfect 3 candies. 100 grand, underrated. The Seahawks of candy. Nougat, caramel, crunch, chocolate, perfect.
Really
Reese's,
good.
Snickers, wonderful list. Good job. Can't agree more. Brock, great job on one side, and then I'm not sure what Milky Way did to you. It's a good candy. It's not the worst. There's circus peanuts, there's Boston baked beans, there's candy corn, there's every single candy Dave Wyman listed, which is in and of itself a completely 5-minute episode of whatever a 7-Up is. Wild, absolute wild picks by Wyman. But again, Mike, great job. Brock, I'm not sure what Milky Way did to you.
Yeah, Boston beans are horrible.
That's disgusting.
I mean, truly
The circus
horrific.
peanuts are really disgusting.
You can,
it's like
you know,
styrofoam.
I heard you talking about Good and Plenty. You don't like black licorice, whatever. There is not a human that likes Boston beans.
Yeah, those are nasty.
It's. I don't even know what the material is inside of
Why
it.
would you put Milky Way as such a basic candy bar? Like, who cares? Milky Way is it's an inoffensive candy bar.
So I'm not basic.
Well, but it's an inoffensive candy bar. It's kind of just there. My dad loves it.
It's true. It's
My dad had never even heard of a
So did my
7-Up,
late
by the way.
grandmother, Hoppy. She ate one every day. Bless her
Every
heart.
day? A
Every
Milky
day.
Way a day keeps the doctor away?
It did.
All right. Here's
Well, let's be very clear. I am old and I am basic.
Here's Matthew.
Salt.
Yeah.
What in the heck are you talking about? Charleston chews are gross. They are delicious.
No.
And just like Eminem said, he'll choke you to what? With the Charleston chew. They got multiple functions. You guys don't like Tootsie Rolls either.
No.
You're literally insane.
What?
And the fact that you like Milk Duds, what in the hell is wrong with this radio station? Oh, my God.
Yeah, you're wrong, Matthew.
Yeah, that's a bad take, Matthew.
Sorry.
I think you're going to get outvoted on a lot of that. Sorry. I'm with the people on this one, as usual. Here's David G.
Hey, here's the thing. Love the app, but you guys really need to change your pictures on that thing. It's Brock, you look like a used car salesman on steroids. It's quite frightening, bro. And Salk, you look like a corporate lawyer that's sticking it to the company in some unsavory way. You're a good-looking dude, man, so grow that beard back. Anyway, in the great words of George Costanza, I'll leave on a high note. How about that, Grandpa?
There's a lot in there.
That's a good one.
Don't tell my daughter about the beard. Cecily hated the beard. In fact, we saw a picture of me with it the other night. She got mad about it again.
Trying to think of the candy now. It was in a black and white. It wasn't Score. Score's a little bar.
Yeah.
Gosh, it was black and white, and it...
Tell me something about it.
Yeah, well, keep playing them out. I'll give you some more.
All right. I need more. I need a little more info than just black and white.
I know. It was kind of Charleston chewy. It was just
Caramello?
No.
Caramello.
Play another one. Play another one.
All right. Here's Taylor's got an impression of me.
So here's the thing. This is Michael Phillip Salk, and I know that I made you all apologize to Jerry DiPoto because, you know what, last year in the 2025 season, the roster at the beginning of the season is not the roster at the end of the season, and you have to leave runway for trade deadline acquisitions and prospects coming up and filling roles. But right now, heading into the 2026 offseason, I will not allow any Tarek Skubal conversation until I know who is playing first base, who is playing second base, who is playing third base, who is in right field, and who is DHing. There will be no more discussion on the matter.
There's plenty of discussion. For me, I need a little more info before committing to that, Taylor.
Thanks, Taylor. Well done.
That was another thing I got into it about with Shannon yesterday. She was like, well, I mean, we all had such high expectations for the team last year. I was like, we did? I didn't have high expectations at all.
Did you say it like that?
Yeah.
Did you really kind of piss him off?
I think I might have, and I feel bad.
Is that why you had to call me afterwards?
Yeah.
To try to
No, you know why I called you. It was a different reason. But
We don't have time for this, guy.
But Shannon, she asked me to do this thing in the middle of what is essentially the middle of the night for me. I had to do it at nap time. I'm incapable of doing anything at 11 o'clock. Here's Jason from Texas.
Hey guys, this is Jason from Texas. I called in right before the Astros series a month or so ago. Told me to get a Mariners cowboy hat. Way to stereotype us, dog. Like, we all wear cowboy hats down here. We all ride horses to work. Whoa, easy, Buttercup. So here's the deal. I didn't take your advice. I wasn't going to listen to somebody who dresses like Pugsley Adams' midlife crisis. Seriously, mix in some color, man. You know we can see you on YouTube, right? I mean, that's why Brock dresses the way he does, so that we don't accuse him of being the Joker's blonde. What's the opposite of evil twin? Goodish twin? Thanks, fellas. Bye.
That's pretty good. People were wondering if you're talking about a big hunk.
Oh, yes.
I never heard of that. I don't remember the
Horrible.
big hunk.
That's exactly what I'm talking
Was
about.
it a black and white candy called the
How
big
do the
hunk?
people know me like that?
I don't know, a lot of people.
It's exactly what I'm talking about.
Big hunk.
It's horrible.
I've never heard of it.
In your teeth,
Never
in
heard
the
of it
roof
either.
of your mouth. It's look at it.
I'm about
It
to.
is, look, terrible.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's terrible.
Big hunk.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Maybe we didn't
I'm not
have
a big
those.
fan of white chocolate.
Oh,
Yeah, me neither.
bad. Thank you,
Interesting.
text toy.
Yeah, never heard of
Gosh,
Big
that text
hunk.
toy. Who needs AI?
I know.
When we have the text toy.
It's true. It really
That
does
is- thank
kind of
you.
answer just about everything. Here is Taylor.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
This is Soft Taylor from Snohomish. I was on a road trip with my wife this last weekend, and we were listening to your show.
Nice.
And G. Scott came on and talked about his bathing habits. He was talking about all the products he was doing and washing with a loofah. And I asked, what the heck is a loofah? And she described it to me, and I told her, I was like, that's not manly. I'm a barehanded bandit, is what he said. So when we got back, she went and got me a loofah and body wash. And you guys, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm losing my manhood at the same time.
Not
What do you
really.
guys think?
Well, there's nothing dumber in the world than a man card or any of that.
You
so
like
don't
a
even
loofah?
worry about it. I have like a puff. Does that count as a loofah? I mean, it's like a loofah substitute.
I think it counts. I've always kind of called
Speak-
it.
It's in the
of which.
loofah category.
Speaking of which,
I always think of Judge Smale's wife whenever somebody says the word loofah, though. That's the only thing that runs through my head.
I almost killed our assistant coach yesterday.
Oh, really?
2 days ago.
Well, we don't have time for that now.
Okay, I'll make sure I tell you this.
After Trent Green?
I have to confess.
All right, please hang on. I want to hear about this. After Trent Green, he's going to join us at 8:30, so right after Trent Green, okay?
Yeah.
All right, write that down, because we got to get to Danny and your buddy Zane.
All right.
Here's Zane.
Here's the thing. This is Benjamin Rothschild with the World Elite Club. We've heard a disturbing story regarding a member of our society, one Michael Salk, recognizing the job performance and work ethic of a sanitation worker on his radio show the other morning. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Salk. Needlessly praising the effort and achievements of the working class, while quaint and well-meaning, is just something that we elites don't do. You are a level 5 elite. You eat popcorn augmented with only the finest oils available on the planet, and you sprinkle with truffle salt and gold dust and enjoy, period. You use a brand new towel after every shower or bath, and then you throw that towel away immediately. When tipping your service staff, you are to pluck one and only one $10 bill from your billionaire wallet and hand it to them without comment. And never, under any circumstance, are you to praise the working class for job performance. If anything, when you witness a happy worker, the only words from your mouth should be in complaint of the obvious fact that they're being paid too much money. Mr. Salk, you are already on thin ice for claiming to be a sports commentator without once ever giving the results of your local fox hunts on your show. So please correct your behavior and a good day to you, sir.
Yeah. I'm telling you, though, you got to see this guy, Brock. He works his butt off. This guy sprints to go get the barrels. He's awesome. He's the greatest dude, the guy who collects the garbage here right outside of our building at East Lake and Howe. Unbelievable. Love this guy. We'll finish with Danny.
Here's the thing. So I took off the last 10 days and went to Korea for obvious reasons and ate some pretty interesting things. I had raw beef with raw egg on top of it. I had an octopus that was still wriggling down my throat as I ate it. Something called loach eel soup, which was basically like an eel without a face. And looks like a giant slug.
Oh, my God.
So just kind of curious, which one would you guys rather eat? The raw beef with raw egg, the octopus wriggling down your throat, or essentially slug soup? Brock, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I do the beef tartare.
That's just beef tartare.
We were talking about that off air. I'm like, that's beef tartare.
I do that
in
I do that in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
At the at the great steakhouse there.
And then the slug soup and the octopus. The live octopus, no. Just no.
Yeah, no.
No, the slug soup, anything that involves the word eel, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'll take the wriggling octopus.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll take
Nothing that's going to wriggle down my...
I'll take the wriggling octopus over anything that resembles an eel, which is the absolute worst animal on the planet. Disgusting. Anything that is essentially a snake that swims in the water should be banned from the earth forever and ever.
I'm not a fan either, but at least it's not
Freaking
moving.
revolting. Absolutely revolting. The worst type of animal. And, I don't even know if I would consider it an animal. That thing should be chopped up and sent into outer space to never exist again. Gross. Absolutely disgusting. Okay, sorry. Were we doing a radio show about sports or something? We'll come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. Thank you for the Here's the Thing. You can leave those messages at the Seattle Sports app. And, Trent Green coming up. He's doing the game this weekend, so we'll talk to him in 20. I'm Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
Sam Darnold has been sacked just 9 times this year.
Every afternoon at 2.
How much of that do you put on the pass protection he's getting versus how quickly he's getting rid of the ball?
The offensive line's doing their job, but I would say hitting a spot like 35, 40 yards downfield that's so tiny. I mean, that is really impressive, but the most rare talent to me is a guy who can move around the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday. Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with two words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those two words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend, and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/Cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/Cyberknife prostate.
need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Are we going to see Ernest Jones on Sunday? That's probably the biggest question coming out of the Seahawks' first injury report released yesterday. He was a limited participant. Now, they didn't actually work out, so it's like what he would have been if they'd had a full practice. And I don't know, I hear this is fairly encouraging.
He's working through it, like he's going to be part of our walkthrough. We'll see how much he does in the actual ACT, so I'm sure he'll be limited to some capacity today, and then we'll see tomorrow.
That sounds promising, right?
If he is limited today as they get out there and go full speed, that would be very promising, very encouraging. He also said that Cooper would be limited, and then Cooper did not participate.
Right.
I think Cooper will have a much, much more difficult time, and I would put that as very doubtful that he's going to play this way. I think they're going to be very guarded with an older player that they want to make sure is ready, I think, for the following week with the Rams.
And that's a hamstring now, too, right? I mean, it
Correct.
just feels like hamstring injuries more than any other.
Yep.
You have to wait
it's
longer
all
than you
you've
think.
lived it. I mean, it's been 2 years, 2.5. When was that?
Please stop comparing me to an elite athlete.
You're a
I'm
world-class
out on that
athlete.
comparison. I'm just going based on what we've seen. Those hamstrings, because they pop so quickly. It just for these fast guys. I don't know. It seems like you want to make sure it's 100% ready to go. A lot of good conversation about Rashid Shaheed, who was here yesterday. Mike McDonald, excited about it.
Really excited. Got in the building this morning, so we're off and running. Their offense is walking through right now. Obviously, has familiarity with Clinton and our system, so hopefully it's expedited getting up to speed. But enjoyed our conversation since the trade, and I know the guys were excited. It's a great opportunity to add to our team. Didn't feel like we were missing, something. It's not like we were trying to plug holes or anything like that. It was just an opportunity to get a great player and to augment what we were doing.
Yeah, I went through all the different reasons yesterday why I like this deal, and from Rashid's perspective to be able to pick a spot. He said that it was, bittersweet, obviously, leaving an organization that loved him and that he was there for a bunch of years. But if you're going to go somewhere, I can't reinforce how important it is that you know the language.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like little bits and pieces of it and, okay, well, this sounds like this, and then you spend a lot of time going, well, this is what we called in our system. Like, no, we did this last year in New Orleans. And it should be pretty hand in glove for him to fit in that kind of way.
Well, and not just the language, but he seems to just like the offensive scheme in general.
I feel like there's a lot of wide open opportunities. We get into a lot of play action and stuff like that, so I could stretch the field vertically. I feel like I could bring that into this offense. And, just any type of explosiveness, I'm all here for it.
All right, pretty cool. Excited to have him, and he seems excited to be here. We'll get a chance to see him on Sunday.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
We go the stretch. Kinley has got to throw a strike. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung out, line drive, base hit right field. Jorge Polanco with a walk-off single, and the Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
That was the biggest moment of his year, and he's now a free agent. Jorge Polanco declining his player option for 2026. Would have been about $8 million, so that's not a huge surprise. John Morosi set the market at quite a bit more than that. So when he was on with Wyman and Bob yesterday, he gave 3 years, 45 as a rough estimate for what he could get on the open market. And Brock, I'm just fascinated by the Polanco thing because of how many different ways you can look at it. He's a great fit for the Mariners with his switch hitting, with his second base, with his DH, with his ability to play first. I love the fit for Seattle. He also is a guy who's going to be ages 32, 33, 34 over the next 3 years, who's had a pretty rough injury history.
I'm kind of fascinated to see how the organization prioritizes lots of these different moves and machinations of this offseason, Salk. And unlike Naylor, where I think both you and I left that conversation with Shannon going, oh, crap. This was the other way around. Jorge's here. His kids are in school here. Jorge had a real challenge leaving a place that he was at for, 13, 14 years professionally. And that first year of change was tough in Seattle. And by all accounts, I think he really likes it here. And if you offer a fair number, I think that can happen a little bit easier, maybe even a little quicker than it would with the name.
No, and Shannon kind of said that, right? That there's just a lot of, comfort here. And maybe that is something that works well for him, but That's a lot of money.
Money talks.
That's a lot of money if somebody wants to
money
offer
walks.
it for a 31-year-old Jorge Polanco.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
The Kraken were just awful last night. I don't even want to talk about it. It was so bad. That was their worst game of the year, and too bad. I got a chance to watch the whole game, and they were just terrible. But congrats to Ryan Winterton. He scores his first goal in the NHL. That's everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. A lot of text in here.
About what?
Well, a lot about the big hunks and how gross they were.
They're bad.
Somebody said that they taste like a fluffernutter, that it's not white chocolate, it's like a marshmallow idea.
It's just bad.
Okay.
And it's just all up in your teeth, and roof of your mouth, and it's just not even worth it.
That sounds bad.
Still not as bad as a Boston bean. That I would like to know what the innards of that truly are.
Mm-hmm.
It's like eating a pebble. It like can crack your tooth at any moment, and it's just ugh.
Somebody else mentioning Shambles beef tartare in Ravenna. Absolutely tremendous. It's so good. If you get an opportunity to go there, that is one of my favorite dishes in all of Seattle.
Lyle, have you ever had beef tartare?
I don't even think I know what it is.
Raw beef with raw egg. Kind of all mixed up together.
Uh-huh.
It's so good.
I don't think I've had it.
Oh, my God, it's so good. And then Salk's takes on eels is his best take year to date.
Come on.
Anything that slithers
Now we've
can
had
go back
3
to
of your
hell where it
best.
belongs. Yeah.
Now we've had 3 of your best.
Yeah,
in
and
a
I'll
week?
just add to that 360. It's not just that it slithers. It does that and it's in the water. That combination is lethal. It is as revolting as anything could get.
So let's get this right. It started with the Saluki.
Yep.
It ends
Good
with
take.
the eel. What was the middle take yesterday that was the greatest you'd ever had? I mean, you are on a roll.
I've already forgotten what it was yesterday. What was it? What was my great take yesterday?
I don't know. I remembered the first one.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not been that profound.
You got a lot of praise on the text toy as the greatest
did.
take you've ever had.
I know. I have been on fire recently with a few of these
that?
takes. Yeah.
How can we not even remember that?
My take on eels is that's been my take since I was a young child. I think the combination of slithering and being in the water is revolting. Sea snakes and eels should both go absolutely
And then have
right.
their caves they're in and they just launch themselves
go
out.
back to hell
kill
where
you.
they belong. Just absolutely revolting animals. I don't even like including
AI,
them in animals.
AI text toy. What was Salk's greatest take ever?
What was it?
Yesterday
Had a
or
really
the
good
day
take.
before? Come on.
What was that? I don't know. Maybe Trent Green will bring it out of me, Brock. He's next. He's got the game this weekend, and I'm. I think I have what I think is a good question for Trent Green.
Or was it Facebook?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Maura.
I went
Yeah, it was my take on Facebook. That's right. Yeah, that it used to be great. Now it's terrible. Not that
You're
not
on a
that
roll.
deep a take, but I am on a roll.
Might be time for you to go solo.
Maybe I will. Trent Green next.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer and a different Seahawks player every week.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, guys, I hate this weather. It's cold. It's dark. The daylight is going away with every passing day. It's just awful. Dark when you go to work, dark when you get home, dark, and wet. And those real external factors can impact your mindset, your health, and your weight if you let them. So don't. Instead, use this time to make a great final push. Finish the year strong with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. They can help. They helped me lose 35 pounds in the span of just 8 weeks. So that could be you by essentially New Year's Eve. You could be a whole new person really by Thanksgiving. You'd be halfway there and then use that as maybe a little opportunity to celebrate and then finish the year even stronger. You can look forward to watching those pounds melt away, maybe losing 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 8 weeks. It starts with just a 15-minute phone call. That's it. Schedule yours right now at eastsideweightlossklinik.com. When you talk to them, you'll hear about the biggest sale of the year, over $300 off normal pricing through December 31st. That is an awesome bargain. Again, go to eastsideweightlossklinik.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's refractive lens exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
The birth of the American supercar is roaring into LeMay, America's Car Museum, starting October 25th. Curated by racing icon Steve Saleen, this electrifying exhibition showcases the evolution of American speed, style, and engineering, featuring icons like Hennessy, Shelby, Zinger, and more. From raw horsepower to groundbreaking design, this is the ultimate tribute to performance. Don't miss the birth of the American supercar, opening October 25th at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Visit americascarmuseum.org to learn more.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, so Seahawks hosting the Cardinals this weekend. CBS game, huh, Brock? As part of
Get ready for a shootout. Get ready like 42-38. The last time Harlan and Green were on the call.
Yeah, all right.
Tampa,
Well,
Seahawks.
we got
Baker,
him again.
Sam.
We got Trent Green back, and he's joining us right now. Trent, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you guys doing?
Would you sign up for that shootout again that you guys called last time?
Yeah, that was probably one of the. I think it goes down as I think the NFL came out with like the top 5 games of the season, and that was in their list of top 5 games of the season. Just because, I think it was a total of 10 incompletions between Baker and
Sammy.
Sam was on fire. I mean, it was just one of those games. So yeah, I would take that again. Those are fun broadcasts.
You've seen a lot of quarterbacks in your day between playing with them and watching them. Who does Darnold remind you of?
Oh gosh. I really love, and I'm not going to give you a direct answer. I'm going to give you a long-winded answer.
Even better.
I love the fact that he's worked at it. I remember talking to him when he was 20 years old, 21 years old, 22 years old, dealing with the pressures that come with being a high draft pick, the pressures of being in New York. Just kind of what he was dealing with from a media standpoint, from a social media standpoint, from a fans and family and all the stuff that goes in to playing the position on top of, you're trying to perform and lead a somewhat normal life as an early 20-year-old. So I just love his story. I love how he's worked at it. So many times we've heard of guys that, that come in with those high expectations and don't necessarily have it happen right away, and then they just disappear. But I like the fact that he's kind of found, found his love for the game again, found his passion for the game again. It took going to a couple different spots and being with some coaches that believed in him and working on his skill, and so I like his story. I do. So I'm pulling for him to try and compare what he did with anybody else. Gosh, I'm trying to think who was a highly drafted guy and kind of had to resurrect. I mean, Baker's another one of those guys, right?
I guess I meant more just his style and the way he plays the game, but the story is absolutely a big part of that.
There's some Trent Green to his story now. Trent Green was in St. Louis. Trent Green learned to play with timing and anticipation and accuracy, honestly. And then you get hurt, you go to Kansas City, and you're in that system.
Brock, maybe that's why I like him so much. I don't know.
Yeah. And then Sam goes to Minnesota, right? He goes to Minnesota. Yeah. Well, first San Fran, he watches Brock Purdy, and I think you guys talked about that the last broadcast, and goes to Minnesota, plays in the system for a year, and is now flourishing in it. And he's a timing, anticipation, accuracy guy. I mean, that was a lot of Trent Green's game back in the day, was it not?
Yeah, no, exactly right. And I hate it when I hear announcers say, or analysts say, or scouts say, they're a system quarterback. They're a system quarterback. They're a system quarterback. And I'm like, listen, Joe Montana was the most system quarterback there was. He fit perfectly into that system, and it got him 4 Super Bowls. It's like Troy Aikman fit perfectly into what Norv Turner wanted to do and run that offense. I take a guy like Elway. I think Elway could play in multiple different offenses because of his skill set. But there are tons of guys in the Pro Football Hall of Fame that are system guys, and that's what you want. You want to find a guy that fits perfectly. I think Sam understands what it is that Mike McDonald wants. I think that was very clear what he wanted when he decided to move on from Ryan Grubb and bring in Clint Kubiak and really what he wants to get done from his offense and his philosophy of how he wants to win football games. So the fact that Clint was with Sam earlier a few years back, I think that's only a bonus. And as we see that play out on the field, it just all fits really well. So system quarterback, yes, he fits perfectly into what they want in their system.
Well, we've heard a lot about that system here in the last couple of weeks and some conversation about a lot of throwing out of heavy personnel and the role that plays not just in their system but in the current NFL. As I was thinking about talking to you today, it made me wonder what Mike Martz would say about throwing as much as teams are out of heavy personnel.
It would drive Mike crazy.
Right?
Yes, so I'm going to tell you a little bit. When we got to, so Mike was my quarterback coach in Washington with Norv for my last 2 years. And when he got the offensive coordinator job and we came over to St. Louis and we were going through the offseason, and Chad Lewis, who ended up being a Pro Bowl tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Andy Reid, and really fit in well into that West Coast system. Well, Chad was with the Rams, and he was a really good receiver, and I thought he was going to fit perfectly into what we wanted to do offensively, because Norv liked to use the tight end. Jay Novacek, obviously, you go back to Eric Coryell days with Kellen Winslow. We had multiple different tight ends we used in Washington. So I was like, oh, Chad's going to fit perfect into this. And all of a sudden I see Chad's being released and I go talk to Mike. I go, Mike, what are we doing here? He fits perfectly. He goes, no, I'm going 4 wides. We're going to spread this thing out. We're going to be, he goes, I want Oz and Ricky on the field. I want to, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, the greatest show on turf became what it did. But he had a vision for it and what he wanted to get done. The same way that Clint and Mike have a vision of what they want done. They use 2 tight end personnel a lot. They use heavy personnel a lot. We got to some of that in Kansas City because we had Tony Gonzalez and Jason Dunn, and we had Priest Holmes and Larry Johnson, and, running the football, physical football, play action football, and then you're going to get chunk yardage, yards per attempt, yards per completion. It's going to be bigger. Now today there's more of the quick throws to the outside, which has really become like a sweep play for running back, just to get out into space and be one-on-one out in the open space. So, but yeah, the Seahawks do a good job of using big personnel, because what it does is it forces the defense. It's like, okay, if you're not going to respect who we have on the field, you're going to leave your little guys on here, then we're just going to run it the whole time. And if you put your big guys in, then we're going to throw it against our athletes better than yours. So I love the personnel matchups. It's the ebb and flow of the NFL. Yeah, they're doing it right now. Right now they've got a good grasp on it, just because of, from a personnel standpoint, a lot of defenses are built small to hang with all the high flying, passing offenses. And if you do something like this, then it becomes a personnel matchup.
CBS Trent Green will be on the call Sunday, as he was with Kevin Harlan the first time around in that Buccaneer matchup, and kind enough to take some time with us this morning. I understand not wanting to make the quarterback comparisons with Sam, but we can do so with receivers, right? We can go down that road. Who does JSN remind you of as you saw him in person, as you've studied the tape, as you've seen, a 2,000-yard pace that he's on right now that would shatter NFL records? You get any JSN vibes from a player of the past?
I played with a bunch of guys that he reminds me of, but I think the one in the current game that he really reminds me of is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think when you look at the fact that they're not like Calvin Johnson big, but they're strong big. So they're physical. They attack the ball. They use their hands. They come back to the ball. They're not easy to bring down. Yet, even though they're not the biggest receivers like a Calvin Johnson, like a big guy like that, they can still climb and get the contested catches. So I would compare him more, that pops out in my head, is Amon-Ra St. Brown, just because of the structure and their type of game, their route running, physical type receivers. That's really what comes to mind for me.
Did Brock pay you to say that? He's been saying that all year. He's been going. He's been saying
really?
that. Oh my gosh, that's all he ever says.
Yeah.
Man,
Daniel
bro.
Jeremiah, you're in a good class. You're in a good class of folks that see it somewhat similarly. And you're right. He plays so much bigger. But then, Trent, I think what stands out to me is that he's one of those receivers that makes every throw look good. So I got a sophomore son, and we got a receiver that's a senior at the school he's playing with, and it doesn't matter where the throw is. He slows down, he speeds up, he idles, he goes and attacks the ball. It's like, oh, that was a great throw. It wasn't that great a throw. It was actually the receiver did such a phenomenal job because of his awareness and his instincts and all of it, man. He's been special for us to watch emerge this year.
That's awesome. That is really cool. So you have 2 boys playing at the same time on the same team?
No, I got my got two daughters, and then this is a senior receiver that's making my sophomore.
Oh,
son.
senior receiver.
Yeah,
He's just
so
calmly,
that's
he's just
making him look
calmly
good.
throwing the
Okay.
ball 70 yards on a rope. It is absurd.
No, please.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Nice.
60 yards.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm way off. It's
Well,
only
I was
it's only
hoping-
60 yards.
I was hoping. Well, he's still got time to grow. He's a sophomore. Yeah.
Well, not much. He's 6'6". He's gigantic.
Will you please stop?
All
Can
right,
we
sorry. This
please
isn't
get to
about
the
Titus.
game?
Let's get back to the Seahawks. Sorry about that. All right,
Hey,
so we.
what's the? How excited are you guys about Rashid? I mean, it's all I know is, like, as soon as that happened, like, our whole broadcast crew, like our producer, director, Kevin Melanie, everybody that's on this big text change, we're like, hey, look what happened. Look what happened. So I know we're fired up. I got to imagine you guys are as well.
Well, he's just really fast, right? And he seems like one of these all-time great dudes that everyone who's been around him just absolutely loves him.
Have you guys had a Saints game this year? Have you guys seen him in person?
We did not.
Yeah, they've not been real.
We did not. We had one a couple years ago, but we did not have one this year. And yeah, he can fly. I mean, it's going through his stuff as I'm getting ready for this game, I was like, how does he go undrafted? I mean, I know. I'm like, how does that happen? I think he was a 4-time All-American at Weber State, and was doing, was fat. I don't know. It's the quirks of scouting, I guess, in the NFL.
Trent, how about the other side of the ball for the Seahawks? Because it's, I keep wanting to say that's really where this thing is built, but honestly, as of today, they're 5th in offensive scoring and 5th in defensive scoring prevention. I mean, they're exactly even right now in terms of the strengths of this team. But that problem of, if you want to put the bigs out there, if you want to put the little guys out there, this defense doesn't seem to have that problem the same way. What makes it work?
I think, and don't ask Mike McDonald that question, because I'm sure he'll say it's a defensive team. It really starts with the safeties, with the secondary. That's what this defense is driven on. And then you've got good corners. I like the guys up front, your defensive line. Hopefully Jones plays. I know that the injury report came out and said he was limited. Although they were just in a walkthrough, so I'm going to keep an eye on the injury report the next couple of days, because he's a huge piece to that right in the middle. But yeah, I like all different levels. When you talk about having guys at all the levels, that's what Seattle has. And so if you need a guy, you need like a lockdown corner to run around, you've got that. You need linebackers and go sideline to sideline, you got that. You need pressure off the edges, guys up the middle that you have to double team. I mean, it's got all those layers to it. So, they're in a great place.
I don't know where you are prep-wise, Trent. It's Thursday. You'll have your Zoom meetings. You'll travel up here and meet with the Seahawks. Have you had a chance to look at the first matchup yet of the Arizona and the Seahawks on that Thursday night?
I did. I went back because I remembered like a crazy ending. I was like, okay, I think this is a game with like a crazy, last half of the fourth quarter. So I went back and dove into it just to take another look at it. So yes, I have.
Curious what stood out in that first matchup. The Seahawks jump out, they get turnovers, they get the lead, they play hang on at the end, game-winning field goal. But just schematically, just as you look at Arizona now with Jacoby Brissett going to be under center, as you just kind of look at some of the scheme matchup from that first foray, what do you think and what do you expect Sunday?
Well, I noticed that, the Cardinals had a really hard time, moving the ball until late in the fourth quarter. I want to say that was the game that may be the least amount of yards that the Seahawks have given up the entire season. Offensively, I like the way they stuck with the run. If you look early in that game, they weren't real consistent with the run, and then all of a sudden, you just stick with it. And I know that's kind of an MO of what McDonald and Kubiak want to do is no matter if we're only getting a yard or two, we're going to stick with the run because that gets the play action, and that allows us to do some things. I like the use of the tight end. They use Barner quite a bit in that game. So run game, tight end, take your shots, and now all of a sudden you add, Shaheed to the mix. And I do remember the Cardinals were down some defensive backs, so it'll be interesting to see, interesting to see this matchup, just based on some of those things that happened in the first one.
When you all left the broadcast booth versus Tampa Bay, when you all left and dispersed and went your way, did you leave the booth after that game and said to Kevin, "Geesh, I think these Seahawks and these Buccaneers could be legitimate Super Bowl contenders"?
I did for both of them. Obviously, when you go 38-35, I mean that's a ton of points. So it wasn't necessarily that we actually went into that game thinking it was going to be a defensive battle. We're like, okay, both these defenses. And then I was like, I look at Kevin, I'm just like, have we even had any incompletions yet? It's like, this is just staggering what's going on. But we did leave that. And we still talk that way. Those are two teams that definitely can be a part of that conversation when you talk about who can represent, the NFC in the Super Bowl. So I think they are definitely on the short list.
And just a final thing here on Arizona, because they're going to look different than in the film you watched, because they've upgraded at the quarterback position now, and they're going with Jacoby Brissett.
The weird thing is during that game, because I hadn't watched a lot of the Cardinals. We just hadn't had them this year. We actually haven't had them in the last couple of years, and so I'm watching that game, and we've covered Jacoby quite a bit on multiple different teams. We've had a chance to talk to him in production meetings, and I know that Arizona lost some close games. We're sitting there watching the Dallas game, and Dallas Kevin does the Monday night games for Westwood One, so he's at the games, and I'm trying to leave him alone because he's working, and I'm like, Brissett looks really, really good right now. He's standing in the pocket. He knows when he's going to get hit. He just stands there, delivers the ball. He looks like here's the system comments again. He looks like he fits really well into what they want to do offensively. And, and I think that's ultimately why he was named the starter even before, they put Kyler on IR. But I was impressed with the way Jacoby played against the Cowboys.
Hey, last thing for me. You're gracious with all this time. And just as a friend, walking into a production meeting as you will, just want to let you know, I don't know if you saw this anywhere. I think Collinsworth made mention of it Sunday night in the broadcast, and then we chat with Mike every Monday. And he actually pointed to the game you guys did is the reason this thing has turned. And it still sticks with him. He thought he called a horrible game. So it may not be bad in the production meeting just to say, hey, the last time we saw you, I've heard comments of you pointing to this, to that game as being one that turned this. I'd be curious how he answers that with you, how much depth he goes to, because it feels like that game, as much as you loved it and I loved it and offensive people loved it, he hated it. He hated it and felt like he really called a terrible game. So maybe that could be a little avenue of conversation in the production meeting.
Well, I appreciate that heads up because I wasn't sure I wanted to bring it up because of that's the last time they lost. And, there's always that announcer jinx where people are like, oh, well, last time you were here. But then also because of the amount of points and yards that they gave up. So, but now that I know that he has valued this game as maybe a turning point, then yeah, I will. Now I will. I was going to avoid it like crazy because of those reasons. But now I'm going to ask him.
Well, I don't think the weather's going to be as good as that day. I don't think the vibe with the Mariners having their big game the same day is going to be exactly the same, but should be a good one, and we look forward to hearing you on the call. Thanks so much for spending the time with us. We appreciate it.
Hey, it's always good talking to you guys.
All right, there you go. There's Trent Green, former quarterback, and I did want to ask him that Mike Martz story. I had a feeling that it would lead to something like Mike Martz would not care for this. Just no interest in passing out of heavy personnel. I also wanted to make sure, Brock, we gave you a couple minutes here because I know you said you had a story you wanted to tell. Oh, no.
Coach T is listening, and he's not.
What did you do?
I hope he's at practice today.
What did you
do? Was not yesterday. So Coach T is built like Wendell. He is a human bulldog.
Okay.
He is probably 5'8", 5'9", and 5'8", 5'9" wide. I'm bow-legged. He takes my bow legs and to the 100th level.
Okay.
D-line coach, right? Great guy, unbelievable charisma. Reaches the kids. He's a singer. He's just a terrific guy.
Okay.
And I love him. I mean, you think Boy Howdy can hug? This guy's got a surface area, Salk, like this enormous safe in my room. It is. I can't even put my arms around him, right?
It's an enormous safe in my room.
Yeah, in this little studio here, I got this huge safe. Anyhow.
But I'm the elitist.
And I don't know why. Because I've not done this hardly all year with anybody. And I certainly don't do it with the kids. But I was an All-American butt slapper back in the day.
Oh, no.
I mean, these hands weren't just built to throw a football, Salk. I'd give some good slaps on the butt, and, yeah, all of a sudden I kind of went up to him, hey, coach, instead of slapping his back or hugging him, I just kind of, it's playoff time. Gave him a little butt slap. He went down like a house of cards.
What do you mean he went down?
I mean, he went to his knees down.
What? Did you tear something?
Did you wind up?
No. Turns out he had bruised his tailbone and he's got an abscess.
An abscess?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
And I had no idea of either.
So which is worse, Brock, that story or Owen Murphy thinking he was slapping you on the butt, but
Owens
actually
was worse.
slapping what was the AD's
old.
name? Greg?
He's now the AD at Alabama.
Right,
Greg
what's the guy's
Byrne.
name? Greg
Byrne. He still mentions that to this day, 20 years later at the Alamo Bowl.
For those who don't know,
that was way
he
worse.
was the AD at USC. He's tall like Brock. He's kind of built similarly.
He was at Arizona. He was the AD at Arizona.
At Arizona, I'm sorry.
Same haircut as me, very similar height as me.
Owen Murphy, our
He's in a
first program
suit.
director and all-around crazy person, came up to what he thought was Brock and whacked him as hard as he could in the butt, only to have the AD turn around and be like, who the heck are you? Oh, man. That is an all-timer, man. Oh, my
I'm
gosh.
still confused about how a message about a loofah made you think of this story. Brock.
Oh, well, everything makes Brock think about butt slapping more.
I don't know.
You should know that by now.
Like the abscess, I don't know what it did, but yes, it was. So Coach T, at the end of practice, guys are laughing. He's face down in the training room with the heating pad on
my
his
God,
rear
you almost
end.
killed
Yes.
him.
And he wasn't at practice yesterday.
Brock.
I hope he's there today.
Brock, how many
I
times have we
know.
talked about this?
I
You have to
know.
stop injuring
I
people.
know.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Owen Murphy slapping Greg Byrne. It's like I wasn't there, but in my mind I was there. I've thought about it so many times that it's like in my mind I was there for that story, even though I wasn't actually there for that story. Oh my God, it's so unbelievably funny.
So good.
All right, coming up next. Let's see. Well, we got the fantasy forecast at 9:45. So if you guys have fantasy questions for Mora,
Got whose shoes? Are we doing whose shoes?
I think we're gonna leave that for tomorrow.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think we're going to leave whose shoes for tomorrow. I thought, since I'm going to be out, I thought you and Lefko might have some fun with whose shoes. So we're going to leave that for tomorrow.
We'll see if Brock can help him. Lefko likes to try to win everything.
Oh, does
so
he not understand the
struggles
rules?
with understanding.
Yeah, it's hard to. There's a very complicated game.
Is that why he also hides all the candy?
Maybe.
Did we figure out that he was the one?
Well, it seems like Bob hides it for him. I don't know. It's a little confusing. You can ask him about it. But fantasy questions, you can text to 866-979-3776, and Maura will answer them. Up next, we'll go around the NFL.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in like the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
Winter's here, Seattle. Is your roof ready? Get $500 off by scheduling your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com. Let us make your roofing project easy this winter. Our certified crews deliver worry-free installations backed by industry-leading warranties, even in the rainy season. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hi, this is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. Big Trees has certified arborists and site experts who help you select the right trees for the right location on your property. When Big Trees installs a tree, we offer a 1-year warranty and 1 free aftercare visit from a board-certified master arborist. To learn more about our process, visit BigTreeSupply.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt ductless heat pump system from Home Comfort Lines is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
The birth of the American supercar is roaring into LeMay, America's Car Museum, October 25th. Curated by racing legend Steve Saleen, this high-octane exhibition features icons like Hennessy, Shelby, Zinger, and more. Don't miss it. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to give you a minute.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello! All right, hour hour to go here for us this morning, Brock. A lot of fantasy questions came in from Maura for 9:45. She's going to take us around the NFL in a minute. This is sort of the big story this morning. Unfortunately, in the NFL, and it's really sad. Just awful about Marshawn Kneeland, 24-year-old Dallas Cowboy player who's now deceased. And the story is coming out of what happened. This is from the police report from the Dallas Department of Public Safety. Have you read this yet? It's really sad. No. He was being pulled over for a traffic violation at 10:30 last night. Driver refused to stop, resulting in a pursuit with troopers. However, they lost sight of the vehicle and the pursuit was terminated. It was later located abandoned and had been involved in a crash on the southbound lanes of Dallas Parkway. DPS, aircraft, and troopers, along with Frisco Police Department, searched the immediate area and found the driver, 24-year-old Marshawn Kneeland of Plano, deceased with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So just an absolutely horrific, awful story out of Dallas this morning. I was reading here also that the troopers were told along the way that he had had some suicidal thoughts. So I don't know. That's kind of all the information I have at the moment. But and I don't mean to bring down the show, but I just wanted to pass on the info. It had come out this morning that he had died.
No, we've gotten a lot of texts. People are curious as to what happened. I mean, he's a second-round pick who's only 24 years old.
Who just scored a touchdown the other day, right? A kick return touchdown or something. Block punt touchdown, excuse me. He's a defensive end. So I'm sorry to report the news, but that is the story there, and just incredibly, incredibly sad. Yeah. So sad. Anyway, so Maura, with that.
Can I give you on the positive side?
Yeah, please
flip
do.
it before we do around
Thank
the
you.
NFL?
I think Maura would appreciate it.
I just tweeted a picture. I'm in love.
With this deer?
It's just not any deer. This is the most regal, beautiful beast I have ever laid my eyes on. And he is camping out in my backyard. And I wake up every morning. And it's now the first thing that I do is I'm brushing my teeth. I look outside, like from the upstairs window. Is he there? Is he there? And, during breaks in the show, I'll walk around. It's right outside Molly's little office. And he's just laying right. I mean, look at him.
He is it's like
He is.
It looks
beautiful.
Like AI generated, Brock. Are you sure this isn't an AI generated deer?
Nope. So I think I'm going to lean into the Twitter audience. I'm going to start leaving him some snacks.
Okay.
I have that kind. I mean, he's obviously older. Look at the rack he's got on him. And I said on him, okay, I made that really clear. Okay, here we go. Let's spin around the NFL.
Let's go around the NFL.
Thanks, Brock. All right, let's start within the division where Dan Orlovsky on Get Up this morning was talking about a quarterback controversy brewing in San Francisco.
What?
There is a brewing quarterback controversy, competition, whatever you want in San Francisco. Brock Purdy, really good player. Mac Jones has been absolutely sensational in his time. He has doing it with people that have been beat up, stars and perimeter players that haven't been healthy. He's been knocked around, yet this team somehow, even with all those injuries, is still in the playoff race, and it's because of the quarterback play. There's a quarterback controversy brewing.
Thought it was going to be Arizona, San Francisco.
I think controversies in both those places. And remember, Kyle Shanahan don't really care. They drafted Trey Lance with the third pick in the draft, and Mr. Irrelevant took his job. They paid Mr. Irrelevant $50 million a year. I don't really care.
True, but don't you think John Lynch is going to be in some trouble if he just spent $1 gazillion on a quarterback who's about to get benched in favor of Mac Jones?
Not if you trade him.
Quarterback controversy.
Not if you trade him.
Oh, man.
Not if you trade him. They pivot, man. Seahawks pivot.
Do you think he would generate a good amount
Trade
of interest?
I
Depends
think
how
so.
much money they eat.
Because that actually kind of leads into the next sound that I have for
All
you.
right, let's hear it.
Adam Schefter on ESPN Radio this morning was saying that the trade deadline is kind of the beginning of an arms race for quarterbacks in the NFL and people stocking up their ammo.
This is a league that always has quarterback questions. This now, as much as ever, feels like an arms race with teams positioning themselves to make big moves for quarterbacks, whoever they are, whenever they are. We saw this week that anybody can be had. We saw that teams are willing to go nuts to get their guy. So why is it going to stop there? When it starts there, it's not going to stop. It's only going to increase. And there are some teams out there that have some major ammunition to go dangle to make things happen.
Seems like the best thing they should do is just find somebody who's failed already and then just see if they could make it work.
Yeah, but you have to have a good enough system to make it work.
Well, then stop worrying about the quarterback. Just go get somebody who sucks and see if you can bring him in. Make him better.
I still don't think the long-term viability of Mac Jones and his body is sustainable. He just cannot move. We talk about this all the time, that being a dual threat guy and a QB run guy, you got to be at least a Sam Darnold. Mac Jones, bad body, bad athlete, cannot move. Great brain, unbelievable brain, tremendous processor, very accurate. But I don't know.
What was that guy Arizona drafted with like the 4th pick or whatever? Josh Rosen.
10th, yeah.
Yeah, go get Josh Rosen.
The Rosen one?
Somebody should just go get Josh Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it works for Sam Darnold and Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield and Mac Jones and everybody, like, go get Josh Rosen and see if he can
I think they have to still actually
revive
be
him.
playing. He's not even in the NFL anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, but if you're the Jets, like one of those teams that needs a quarterback, it's not going to work for you because you're the teams that destroy those kinds of guys.
That's true. It's not going to work for the Jets.
Nope.
No.
I don't know if anything's really going to work, though. Former Raiders CEO Amy Trask joined Unsportsmanlike this morning and was not feeling too positive about our friend Pete Carroll.
I hope he will be. I don't know whether he will be. The Raiders have been changing coaches. It's a little bit like the Oprah analogy, and you get a coach, and you get a coach, and you get a coach, only you'll have to change it a little bit and say, and you'll be a coach, and you'll be a coach, and you'll be a coach. There have been a lot of coaching changes for the Raiders. I think Pete should be given more time. I don't know that he will be.
That's been the vibe. I was listening to some Denver radios. The Raiders are in town to play the Broncos, and that was some of the vibe from the local beat reporters that they have heard, like, whoa, I'm surprised that this might be a one and done for Coach Carroll. And that would be just
that'd be so sad.
Bummer.
At least it'll be a one and done for Bill Belichick at the same time at North Carolina, so the two of them can just fade off into the sunset together. Yeah, that'd be a huge bummer. That would be just a sad way for that to end.
Yep.
Well, you reap what you sow, though. You want Geno.
I am kind of excited. I am kind of excited to watch this Thursday night, though. Broncos are pretty good, man. They're 7-2, and they've got an elite defense, elite front, and they got some injuries as well, but they're really, really good. And you know who's starting at either right or left tackle for those Raiders tonight for Pete Carroll? That would be Stone Forsythe.
Yeah, that's not a great sign. That's
Holy
not good.
Is
that it more? We have one more?
Yeah, we could squeeze in one more. Kind of going back to the quarterback conversation, the Colts giving up 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner seemed to convince a lot of people that they, even though I don't know if we're all sold, that they believe in Daniel Jones there.
If you're the Colts, all of a sudden you're telling everybody, yeah, we're in it to win it now. Hey, Daniel Jones, woohoo! If you don't like the pressure, get used to it because we believe in you. The Colts don't make this trade to help out the defense if they believe the offense wasn't right. And I know people are going to say, well, what happened on Sunday versus the Steelers? If it took you that one game to be a Daniel Jones hater to say, look out, then where were you the other 8 games where he played well? Where were you then? You weren't mouth almighty, tongue everlasting when he was doing his thing for the Colts. But you're going to wait for the one game where everybody didn't play well to raise that? You can miss me with that nonsense.
Yeah,
but the
Freddie.
Colts are letting Daniel Jones know, we believe in you.
Yeah, as you said, Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Coleman.
Sorry, yes.
Freddie Coleman. I love Freddie Coleman.
Is he still doing ESPN
Of
radio?
course. The mighty
that's from.
ESPN radio.
That's so good.
Freddie's got one of the greatest voices of all time.
Ever.
He's one of the nicest people of all time, and he knows more about sports than anyone in the world, including Curtis. He is unreal. Unreal, Maura, how much he knows about things that you wouldn't even imagine. He's like, oh, Iona basketball? Let me give you the starting 5 from 1986. You're like, okay. Like, dude, he's unreal. And I know it sounds like he's reading. He's not. That's the amazing thing about Freddie. He always talks as if it's like he's the best. I love that guy. Absolutely one of my favorite people in the world. They are betting on Daniel Jones, and I wonder if they're making a mistake. That's a quick trip around the NFL. We'll come back. We got the fantasy forecast, Brock. We've got Need to Know, and just some sound of the Seahawks getting love, like everywhere. Everyone now loves the Seahawks. Does that make you nervous? It's coming up on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
Sam Darnold has been sacked just 9 times this year.
Every afternoon at 2.
How much of that do you put on the pass protection he's getting versus how quickly he's getting rid of the ball?
The offensive line's doing their job, but I would say hitting a spot like 35, 40 yards downfield that's so tiny. I mean, that is really impressive, but the most rare talent to me is a guy who can move around the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, Brock Ewart here, and you've heard me for some years talk about some of the different sports injuries that I've had and incurred, and I know a little bit about pain, but you don't have to have been a former player to know what I'm talking about. I know on this Thursday morning that many of you hear my voice this morning, you woke up and you've got painful joints. Maybe it's arthritis, maybe it's bursitis, maybe it's tendonitis, maybe it's a former traumatic injury, but you're waking up in pain and it makes it hard really to do pretty much anything. Well, that is where my friend, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, right over there in Kirkland, is ready for your call. 425-823-4000. He has seen so many patients through the years suffering from chronic joint pain. Consider this. Many have jumped aboard the regenerative medicine train lately, not Dr. Nelson. He has been in this pain business for over 30 years. It's been his heart, it's been his soul, and because of it, well, he's got a large tool bag. It includes PRP, stem cell therapy, and so much more. So if your pain is affecting your quality of life, please, please, please give Dr. Nelson a call this morning at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Polanco and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
At Pacific Power Batteries, you won't find anything with pumpkin spice. We sell batteries for everything to anyone. No warm, fuzzy mittens, no umbrellas, no potpourri in our nice stores. But when the going gets tough and the lights go out and your stuff won't start, you'll be glad that you came to Pacific Power Batteries. And if you're not sure if your battery is dead, we'll test it for you for free. We will sell no battery for anything before it's time. We're honest people at Pacific Power Batteries, doing batteries since 1985.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, and you heard it from Trent Green as well, wondering whether or not Ernest Jones is going to be able to play this weekend as he left Sunday night's game with a knee injury, and in the moment, it did not look good at all, and yet he was bouncing around on the sidelines a little bit later, and by all accounts, it wasn't nearly as serious as we initially thought. Yesterday, they didn't have an actual practice, but if they did, he would have been a partial participant.
He's working through it, like he's going to be part of our walkthrough. We'll see how much he does in the actual ACT, so I'm sure he'd be limited to some capacity today, and then we'll see tomorrow.
Honestly, pretty stunning. And if
yeah,
there
the first hit when they showed that, it looked like a high ankle sprain, right? The pile just kind of came into him, and it looked, 9 out of 10 times you see that hit kind of around a pile. You're like, oh, there goes a high ankle sprain. Nope, wasn't that. It was the knee. And, then maybe it's a sprained LCL or MCL or something of that nature. And, yeah, I think watching him bounce around, frankly, in street clothes, the second half of that game was super, super encouraging that he was already back then on the sidelines. And, yeah, we'll know a whole lot more today as they actually get back on the field and work. Along those lines, I don't think we'll see Cooper Kupp. Just a gut feeling, and maybe a little bit more than that they're going to be very guarded, very protective of an older player with an injury that Julian Love has gone through, and I think they rush back a little bit and just not right, go on IR. They don't want that path for Cooper Kupp.
We're also getting to meet Rashid Shaheed. He was in yesterday for the first time, and after a very short amount of time, he seems to believe that this is home.
You can be a free agent at the end of the year. Is that anything on your mind now as you come here, or you just kind of worry about that later?
No, I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay, man. So I'm excited. We can figure something out after the offseason, or after the season ends. But yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, you're looking at this as your new home?
Long term, yeah. Yes, sir.
This is home, man.
Have you ever heard anybody say that?
Within one day?
On the first day they arrive? Yeah, no,
Maybe
this is home. I'm good to go forever.
Like when I was talking about Scooble, bring him home. Like, this is home. Bring him home.
Have you seen the quarterbacks he's been catching passes from?
I know. Like,
have you seen the New Orleans organization?
Is it bad?
Yes.
They don't have a good organization?
No.
I didn't know that.
No.
They're bad?
Have you seen the Seahawks facility? Can you imagine
so
pulling up?
He walked in and was like, free
I'm good.
agency? Screw it, I'm good.
I'm good. We practice on the lake. You feed me this? This is the locker room?
Did he even have time to do any of those things?
I went to Weber State in New Orleans. Sign me up.
Unbelievable. Well, it's awesome, man, and certainly speaks to how they must have made him feel in just his first few hours as a Seahawk.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
A little longer for Jorge Polanco to feel comfortable here in Seattle. His first year was not great, but then last year, a huge bounce back. Now he is unsurprisingly opting out of his player option for next season. It was only about $8 million, not a huge surprise. And the market should be somewhat robust, according to John Morosi yesterday with Wyman and Bob.
I think Polanco is probably in the range of 3 times
15 is probably what a fair price would be at the outset. But listen, he played so well. He was one of this team's best players in the postseason. So the Mariners have some work to do and some money to spend just to get back to being as good as they were this year. And as far as I'm concerned, they have some more work to do to be able to really get to where they want to go and win a World Series.
I don't know. I'll stand on what I said earlier, Salk. I don't think it is a robust free agent market. It has not been in the past couple years. The very top end gets paid, obviously, and handsomely, and Tucker will, and I'm sure Alonso will get a little more. But look at the deals and the structures of the last few years to the Bregmans and the Alonsos and the rest of them. Been kind of one-year flyers, a lot of options open. Why would it be any different with what's looming even closer ahead with the labor situation? So I don't know just how
I'm
big
going to
dollars
guess
we're
if I
really
know
looking at.
baseball teams are going to look at it and say, wait, they figured out how to get this guy to play throughout the whole season, and the injuries are, I don't know, man. Baseball.
Texas cutting payroll, bunch of teams cutting payroll.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We will see. Yes.
Time will tell.
Yes, it will.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
You're laughing today. Why got you laughing
I don't
so
know.
much?
Everything's kind of funny to me today. Maybe because I only have about 45 minutes left in my work week. Kraken played one of their worst games. I don't want to talk about it. They got blown out. They were awful last night.
What
I'll
was
give
the
congrats. 6-1. Congrats to Ryan Winterton. He gets his first goal in the NHL. Ovechkin scored his 900th, so Winterton's just got 899 more goals to go to catch Ovi. And there are a lot of good, fun, young and old players right now in the NHL. It's kind of a cool mix. Moments ago, Brock, we did find out it is official. The PWHL, the professional women's hockey team in Seattle, is called the Seattle Torrent. Now, this had been leaked a couple days ago.
The rain that came down yesterday.
Appropriately.
On the wettest day of the year.
Yeah, a lot of
torrent.
A lot of young female hockey players learning what the word torrent means.
Yeah, what do you feel about that?
It's okay. It's a cool
Lyle,
imagery.
Lyle, what is a
doesn't
torrent?
roll off the tongue.
Lyle, what's a torrent?
I don't know. From what you guys are talking about, rain.
Brock, you're killing
You heard
me
of a
today, man.
torrential downpour.
Oh. I think that's the thing, Lyle. Like, you could use just a little. You could use like
Lyle,
some
never change.
investigative
Lyle.
reasoning, deductive
Lyle,
reasoning.
Lyle, never change.
Never change.
Never change, Lyle.
And nor will the.
Can we assign
Seattle
a Lyle's
torrent.
lesson soon?
No.
No, because Lyle's lessons needs to be like get a dictionary and read simple definitions of words.
I liked when he reviewed movies.
This is radio. How much time do you think I get to just sit and think?
A lot.
That's
That's everything you need to
This
know.
show's pretty fast paced.
Well, but you have time to sit and think when the show's not happening, right?
How do I know you're going to bring up torrent?
Well, you don't. I think that's the point. That's sort of the point. You never know what's going to be brought up. You never, that's why there's a wide base of knowledge.
Do you and TJ ever talk about, hey, man, TJ in particular, does he ever say, oh, gosh, every time Brock turns to you, I just go, oh, what now?
Oh, no.
What next? Hey, Lyle. Hey, Lyle. Hey, Lyle. Do you like the deer in my backyard, Lyle, with its big rack?
We got to take a break. Mara's got the fantasy forecast coming up in 20, and there's a lot of questions in there. If you have more, you can send them to her at 866-979-3776. And I've got...
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
You and I got into a debate. They needed to make a statement. You were like, they're a good team that's kind of flown under the radar, but I think they like that.
To me, I use the word like signature win. I guess you can't make a statement, but I like signature. I like that because signature win is like, all right, beat the team you're supposed to beat, like dominate this game. We want to feel like this game is over by halftime, and that's what they did.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, what are you doing this weekend? Get to Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. So many good reasons why, but if you're watching the games, it's spectacular. The whole new sports bar is awesome. 60-plus TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, great views, great food. There's an awesome pool. The hotel is great. The new expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the whole deal. Go to snocasino.com for a lot more of those details. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always moving the chains. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on SeattleSports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN. Seattle Sports.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
The birth of the American supercar is roaring into LeMay, America's Car Museum, starting October 25th. Curated by racing icon Steve Saleen, this electrifying exhibition showcases the evolution of American speed, style, and engineering, featuring icons like Hennessy, Shelby, Zinger, and more. From raw horsepower to groundbreaking design, this is the ultimate tribute to performance. Don't miss the birth of the American supercar, opening October 25th at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Visit americascarmuseum.org to learn more.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk
Weekdays 6 to 10.
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
This is getting uncomfortable how much everybody likes the Seahawks now, Brock. I'll play you some sound in a moment. I should remind everyone of a couple things. First, Hawks Live back. You can join Michael Bumpus and Brian Walters tonight at 7 o'clock, Bellevue Square Center Court for a live broadcast and a preview of this week's game against the Cardinals, plus a visit from Cody White, who had a nice game and a huge touchdown on Sunday. That's tonight, 7, Bellevue Square Center Court. You can learn more at seattlesports.com/events. And then it turns out, Brock, we've been doing these high school football games.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually going to extend that and do a playoff game. How about this? On Friday night, tomorrow night, Seattle Sports Game of the Week, presented by STSPN, the number 21 ranked Tahoma Bears taking on my number 12 ranked Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Yes, the squad I went to speak to, Brock, just a couple of weeks ago. Shane Keck's guys up there in Glacier Peak. I didn't tell you about that?
What?
Oh, yeah, I went up to talk to those guys. Very impressive young men and a very impressive campus. They are battling from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Snohomish, first round 4A football playoffs. You can watch it Friday, 7 p.m. exclusively here in the Seattle Sports app, seattlesports.com, and Seattle Sports YouTube. How about
Before
that?
all this great sound, by the way, it turns out I'm going to go, when the show ends, down to Ace Hardware.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick up a salt block. Boom. Yes, a salt block.
A lot of people saying not to.
Beloved deer.
Yeah, a lot of people saying don't feed wild animals.
What?
Yeah. Just don't feed a wild animal.
No, I'm taking care of this guy.
I mean, a lot of
provided
just
such
don't feed
joy for my life.
But I think you're going to make his life worse by doing that. I think there's a lot of accidental repercussions that come when you feed a wild animal. Just do a little research before you decide to do it, okay? You just do a little bit of research. Okay.
I want Scooble. You're always making me think about all this.
I'm so sorry. Well, I do have some sound that I thought I would play for you because everyone's now in love with the Seahawks, Brock. They're in love. Here is J.J. Watt, of all people.
I'm with you. The Seahawks are a wagon, dude. Like I think the West Coast kind of loses. I think there's true football fans and deep football fans obviously know it, but they're putting something together out there. And then you go ahead and you add Shaheed to it. Sam Darnold's playing unbelievable football. That whole West Coast right now with the Rams and everybody, there is some very good ball going on out there.
They're a wagon, dude?
They're a wagon.
What is a wagon? Is that what the cool kids are saying? Do we need to add that to the lexicon?
Yeah, I'm sure
I need to throw that into my perf? Hundo,
never heard that?
Cool stuff?
That one's been around for a while.
I mean, the script just writes itself right after getting on me for not knowing something. Here you are not knowing something.
Is that like a Chris Berman circle the wagons in Buffalo? Do they circle the wagons?
No. It's just a phrase. When you're really good, you're called a wagon.
Dude, they're a wagon.
I knew that one, Brock. Sorry. You're out on an island on this one. Sorry.
When you do eventually join the McAfee show as a guest, you're going to have to drop that. Yeah. Bro, they're a wagon.
Can you imagine Pat McAfee asking me to come on his show? What do you think would have to happen in order for that to happen? What story would he need? Would he need info on that he would be calling me to come on his show?
He would need Sherman to come back in the studio and punch you.
Yeah.
And just be like, no, I'm not talking to you. You're out.
Yeah.
Something of that magnitude.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywho, they're a wagon. Thanks, JJ.
Keep my door barricaded for reasons like that. Albert Breer also was really excited about what the Seahawks did yesterday or on Tuesday.
Like you could explain it to a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? It's like okay, you have kind of the do-it-all weapon in JSN, right? You've got the possession receiver in Cooper Kupp. And here comes the burner who's going to complement them, right? We could explain that to our kids pretty easily, and they would get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's such a logical move, and sometimes you want to be playing checkers and not chess. And I think John Schneider was playing checkers on this one. It was that just makes too much sense not to add to what's a really great core of players that we've been able to build here.
Mm-hmm. And kept the team intact. Right. So that was the move they made. And as we talk about a lot in real estate and otherwise, sometimes the best move is a move you don't make. And there were people calling on Rick Woolen and people calling on Boye Mafe. And you know what? Could they have gotten and recouped maybe a 5th-round pick, right, that they gave away for Rashid Shaheed? Yeah, maybe. But they felt like that depth and just keeping the goodwill of everybody around was going to be better for them. And then eventually, if and when they do leave and they sign big deals, guess what happens? You get very nice compensatory picks in 2027 for those guys. If indeed, you know, all these good things happen and good momentum happens and they go sign elsewhere, you still get compensated.
Yeah, it is interesting hearing Bert make that comp between chess and checkers. And you were asking the other day about what had happened and why the Seahawks and why they've made better moves over the last few years in the draft. And in some ways, it does feel like they've just gone back to just playing checkers sometimes. Like, hey, let's just keep it simple. Well, let's just do the simple thing. What do we need? We need a guard. All right, let's take the best guard. All right, what do we need? We need this. All right, let's take that. Yeah. Like, let's not outthink the room, trade back 27 times, move around, take a defensive lineman and try to make him a guard. Like, you know what we should do? Let's just take Gray Zabel. He's a good player.
Yeah, and I think they would tell you that in retrospect, right, as they looked at a lot of that, I think there were more risks you needed to take in 16 and 17 and 18 because your roster was so solidified.
Understood, but
because you had paid all those guys and they were in those spots. But yeah, since that whole roster turned over and moved on, they've gotten back to
just keeping it simple,
some nuts and bolts.
Just play. Hey, you know what we need? We just need a wide receiver. Let's bring one in. Okay, who's here? Well, Rashid Shaheed. He's really fast. Is he expensive? Not really. Let's bring him in. Okay. Like, just keeping it very, very simple. I think that's a nice way that Breer explains it. We were talking this morning, Brock, before you came on.
Chess, there were times to play chess. The offseason had some chess moves.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not saying that there's no I mean, I think you know that I like chess.
Yeah.
I'm not
the pivot to Darnold and the pivot away from – I mean, there were times they have played some chess. But, yeah, this is a little more analogous to checkers.
Maura was asking earlier, we were talking about the decision to hire Mike McDonald that John Schneider made. And she was asking essentially, like, why do you think he decided to go with a defensive coach?
Yeah. When the trend was like the offensive gurus.
Yep. Don't you think, I mean, to ask him now, we don't get to talk to him that often, but it would be interesting to ask John that question now, not right after he made the hire when, you know, you're kind of giving the platitudes of like, yeah, you're just giving the basics.
I don't want to speak out of turn. I've asked him some of that, and we've had those conversations, and I want to be careful to keep some of those kind of private and guarded. I don't think this is out of school nor out of turn to say that, you know, again, back to that, sometimes the best move's the simplest move. Sometimes it just hits you right between the eyes. And I think when a McVay and a Shanahan and those guys would have been really thrilled about another one of them in the division, another one of the offensive guys and the Kafkas and the ones that he interviewed, right? I think they would have been real excited about that. They were not real excited about this one. Most of the energy, most of the conversation with the peers, and I think he and Les Snead are close, and certainly the folks in San Francisco he knows well. And it was like, oh yeah, oh Kafka, brilliant guy. Oh yeah, oh this young whippersnapper. Oh really,
we're done here.
Oh really brilliant guy. Yeah, super smart.
Yeah, maybe it's that simple, Brock. Maybe it's just a reaction to the rest of your division going in one direction.
How am I going to disrupt this? If I bring in another offensive mind, and I know we're going to run the risk of losing Kubiak if this goes great, and that's always a risk of hiring a defensive guy is, well, if the offense is really good, you're going to have to keep, okay, whatever. I'll live with that world of us being really, really good and people wanting our guys than just to settle for an offensive guy because, you won't lose him. McVay stuck around. I don't think it would have been that.
I guess I just wonder how much of it was the reaction to what was around him and how much of it was philosophical belief that a defensive head coach could be better than an offensive head coach in general. I don't know. And I don't know whether it was that or not, or whether there was some element of, I just think this guy's the right guy, the right leader, the right head coach, regardless of what side of the ball
and
it comes
I'll add an
from.
element, and this is for a lot of you that may have interviews down the road and do things and try to get in the door. I think the thing that blew the whole crew away, and not just John, but the whole group that was involved in that process, was how incredibly, and this is funny because when we ask him questions on the air, right, there's a real processing to it and a thoughtfulness to it. When they went through that process, it was like, oh my gosh, this guy is blunt, crystal clear, right to the point, has answers, versus some of these things that meander forever. Like, this guy's got it. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He says it concisely. He says it bluntly. He has a plan, and that aspect of it, I know, blew the whole party away.
I'm sure it did. All right. I just had this from Albert Breer also, and I kind of thought you would find this interesting. It's not so much just talking about how good the Seahawks are, but I don't know. I love Bert. This one's a little interesting to me.
I think the other thing is that's interesting about this is like what this was fueled by.
He's talking about the Jets trade.
To me, is what would give the Jets fans hope in their approach now is like what fueled the Seahawks, retooling was the Russell Wilson trade and how they turned those picks into players, whether you're talking about Charles Cross or JSN or Devin Witherspoon, the guys that they were able to hit on after, they made that trade, all the capital that came in, and it's not all one for one, but the amount of capital that they had, and then having like a couple of huge drafts where you had monster pieces coming in and then complementary pieces coming in down the line. That allows you to do something like this.
I think the challenge you have if you're a Jets fan hearing all of that is, but our organization stinks.
Yeah, the Seahawks were never bad.
Right, the Seahawks had
even
all
through
of that.
all of that, they were never bad. I think the closer comp is what I mentioned yesterday, and that's Detroit, who did get really bad and had Dan Campbell in year one go same thing, 1-15, whatever Glenn's going to go this year, 2-15, 3-14, like bad. And that's what Detroit did, moving on from Stafford and getting picks and really just clearing house and having multiple picks. And then kind of like the Seahawks did with JSN and Byron Murphy now and Spoon, like these guys got to be dudes.
You put Goff back in that same category. I kind of forget to, but don't you kind of have to? I mean, he had a little more success. He had taken the Rams to the Super Bowl. Yeah. I know. So it's not an exact comp. But there's got to be some element of similarity. I don't think anybody was of the belief that Jared Goff was, the greatest thing since sliced bread. And he goes to Detroit, and when you built everything up around it, it's worked pretty darn well there for the Lions. So, anyway, I thought that difference was interesting. And I did.
Are you getting a little nervous about all this goodwill?
A little bit. It's a lot. It's a lot of people starting to notice.
How do we handle praise, boys?
Yep.
How do we handle applause?
Well,
I think we've learned a lesson over the years that, you got to be careful that handling failure and actually, picking yourself up by the bootstraps and the resolve that creates with good character players. That's one thing. Handling a lot of prosperity right now.
Fortunately, the coach never praises them. I mean, like he never has any amount of praise that doesn't come with a little insult right there with it or something to work on, right? Every bit of praise is like, yeah, no, we're doing that really, really well. Now, also, there's a bunch of things he can do better. So, like, I don't know. I feel like he's going to keep them pretty well grounded.
Oh, let me hear this Kurt Warner one. Can I hear
last
this
one? Yeah, this is Kurt Warner talking about my favorite quarterback situation in Arizona.
I think you could say better. I would just say more on schedule and more on time. That's just who Jacoby is. He's always been a pocket type passer that plays on time and on schedule. And Kyler, although really good when he's throwing to his number one guy and he knows where he wants to go with football, obviously is a different kind of playmaker when he kind of gets beyond that and wants to create and make the big plays in other ways. And so when you're looking at in structure and timing and all of that stuff, Jacoby's playing within this offense better than I think Kyler did, but they're different. And, a lot of it does come down to how you want to play. And that's the interesting dynamic here.
Yeah. Well, the head coach wants to play on time, and then not surprising as a defensive-minded head coach, as Gannon is, that take care of the football, play on time, and have every drive end in a kick, and Brissett's doing a way better job. I'll say this, remember who Brissett was playing for last year? That was New England. Mm-hmm. Remember what that Seattle front did to him a year ago? Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I don't think Jacoby Brissett is any great shakes. I mean, he's a decent backup quarterback who's going to win you a few, lose you a few. I mean, you should be able to handle him. Where does Kyler Murray play? Like, do you think Kyler Murray comes back next year as the quarterback of the Cardinals? Seems impossible after this.
Nope. New GM, new head coach.
Where's he go?
They didn't draft him. Oh, come on. This is a quarterback-driven. Are you kidding me? One team's scraps is another team's savior. And
I'll be curious to see what happens there.
I've talked about that, right? With all these guys, the Daniel Jones and the Goffs and the Darnolds and the Bakers and all the Geno, like couldn't play, can't play, done, fire him, horrible. And then get to the right place with the right fit. And somebody maybe in him, most importantly, failing and getting cut and terminated, Yeah, I think I'm not going to say that script is totally done.
No, I would agree with you. It'll be an interesting, if he does have success elsewhere, it'll be interesting to see if it's, hey, look, the Cardinals really are just that bad an organization that they ruined this guy and turned him into something really, really awful after being a number 1 pick. Last thing, and then we'll get to some of Mora's fantasy forecast 425 question. How can Salk be worried about praise for the Hawks and then openly jinx the Mariners with his M's are better than the J's talk? Is that same? I'm going to give you the answer to this question.
Great point.
I'm going to give you the answer to this question. And it might surprise people. I don't know what you think the answer to this question is going to be, but I appreciate the 425 asking. Thank you for asking. The answer to this question is actually very simple. I just tell you what I think. That's the end of it.
That's it.
I just tell you what I think is true.
Oh, I thought the answer was you have actually nothing to do with the Mariners.
Well, that too. I mean, that's also true. Okay. But the answer is simpler than that.
All right.
I just tell you what I think. I don't care about all those other things.
What do you think about fantasy football?
I think it's time to. I think that Mora needs to be the one to answer it and not me.
Fantasy football forecast with Mora Dooley.
Remind me, is that Danny or Brent? Who is that?
Brent.
Brent. Okay.
I think you just insulted Danny.
I knew it wasn't Zane. It's not that zany.
Did you ever get to meet that guy in Oklahoma?
Never did. I was looking for him all over.
I bet you were.
All around the stadium.
He wanted to buy you what? Did you get to try one of those pastry things?
No, timing didn't work either.
Sounds like a terrible trip.
It's a great trip.
You didn't get to try one of those burger
I watched
things.
Davis Moon eat 15,000 calories. Titus's guard. Tremendous. Anywho, that's not what we're here for. What do we got? A lot of questions. More.
All
More
right,
got answers. Do
509s.
we ever go back and check your answers, by the way? I feel like sometimes I notice
If I remember, like last week, I
Yeah.
knew we talked about Lamar Jackson and Drake London and Marvin Harrison Jr. They all did well. So,
Yep.
But yeah, sometimes I also remember like, oh, I said to start that guy and that did not go well. I apologize.
Yeah, but I think more often than not, it goes well. It goes
We had a good one last week.
Yep.
All right. 509 says, I need help in the flex spot. Kamani Vidal or Dallas Goedert? Salk, do you know who Kamani Vidal is? Do you know who Dallas Goedert is?
Yes.
Kamani Vidal's a running back for the Chargers. They're a little banged up right now.
Clearly fake.
He's
He stepped in for Amarian Hampton. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, look at how
And
big
Najee
his
Harris.
britches right now. He's trying to fire back. I like it.
All right, so I'm definitely going Dallas Goedert. He's only had 1 week.
He's a real person.
The Eagles tight end, where he's only had 1 week where he hasn't hit double digits in fantasy points if you're in a PPR, which this person is. He faces the Packers, who are a bottom 7 in fantasy points allowed to that position. Vidal's had a couple of big games since becoming the lead back in LA, but that was due to injuries. There's always a chance that they let Herbert just throw it all over the place and don't run it that much. Also, Vidal fumbled at the goal line last week against the Titans, and they're playing the Steelers, who are actually, even though their defense has been struggling, they're pretty decent against running backs.
Ball security is job security. Don't fumble that ball for Harbaugh. You
At
might
the
not have a
goal
job.
line?
Oof.
Against the Titans?
I know who Gore Vidal is.
Oh, okay. Good.
Does that count?
All right, 458 says Zach Charbonnet, Devin Singletary for the Giants, or Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill, for the Commanders. We're taking Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt away first. Sorry, Bill. He hasn't had more than 13 carries in the last 3 weeks. Jaden Daniels is out, and they're facing a Lions defense giving up the third fewest fantasy points to running backs. So don't like that option. Devin Singletary is a good pickup if you're in a bind, like if you're in a deep league and you have a lot of injuries, because he's getting more looks with Cam Scatterbo out hurt. But he still only had 8 carries last week, hasn't scored a touchdown yet this season. I'm rolling with Charbonnet. I know he is touchdown dependent, but he scored 5 touchdowns in 7 games this year. We know they give him chances in the red zone, and the Cardinals have allowed 8 total touchdowns to running backs this season.
Yep. You ever look up that story on Bill that I told you to look up?
No. I did
Not doing your homework.
I forgot. What was the story about?
He tried wear a different jersey with a different last name. Tried to fake that's why they call him Bill. He's got a few different names.
He's got some aliases.
Yeah, he was ineligible because of, some eligibility issues. Fascinating path that man's been on.
Okay.
He was ineligible because of ineligibility issues. Okay.
Oh, I do kind of remember that now. Yes. All right, that's coming back to me. Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right, 425. Everybody's in a PPR league today. Do you guys remember what that means?
What does PPR stand? PPR. Points per reception.
Ooh.
Close?
Yes.
Oh, I'm right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So receivers or like running backs who catch the ball a lot are a little more valuable.
Oh, very good.
I didn't have any idea that's what that was.
All right, this guy's in a PPR
It sounds
league.
dirty. That's all I know.
Or I'm sorry, this whoever.
Sounds like something you shouldn't say on the radio.
Gentleman or lady from the 425 says Waddle, Jalen Waddle, Rome Odunze, or Josh Downs. Definitely going to go Jalen Waddle here. Despite the Dolphins being awful, Waddle has actually been pretty good. He has 80 or more receiving yards in 4 of their last 5 games. They're playing the Bills, who are middle of the road against fantasy teams or fantasy receivers, giving up 30 fantasy points per game on average to that position. And they've given up 10 touchdowns so far to wide receivers. Waddle had one last time they played also. Rome Odunze, who we love, obviously, because he was a Husky. He's only had more than 2 catches once in his last 4 games. He had kind of a touchdown scoring streak to start the season, but that's come to a screeching halt since week 4. Josh Downs has been solid, scoring double-digit PPR fantasy points in 4 of his last 4 games, but he's pretty touchdown dependent. He's usually only getting like 50 yards or less, so the Falcons are giving up the 7th fewest points to wide receivers. That's who they're facing this week. So I'm rolling with Jalen Waddle, even though the Dolphins stink.
Jalen Waddle's got to have one of the best names in the NFL.
Waddle?
It's awesome.
Is a receiver?
It's just great. No. The fact that he does the little waddle when he scores is just awesome.
If he was Donovan Waddle, and he was a 340-pound guard from Florida.
Wasn't there Tom Waddle?
Tom Waddle, receiver.
Wasn't he also a receiver?
Waddle and Silva.
I don't think they're related.
Chicago radio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then some advice, because I know that there was some tight end injuries this week, if you're looking for one. Colston Loveland, who we talked about around the draft, rookie tight end for the Bears, had a breakout game last week when Cole Kmet got a concussion. 6 catches for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Bengals.
He was the NFC Player of the Week instead of Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have already scooped him up, but if he's available in your league, I would go for him. Also, the Giants have a tight end named Theo Johnson. Kind of touchdown dependent, but he scored 5 touchdowns in their last 6 games. So they do look to him in the red zone, and he's facing the Bears defense that's given up about 15 fantasy
You like
points
him in a PPR league?
to tight ends.
Or a little less so? A little better in a standard league, probably. All right.
Well, PPR, you want them to get lots of catches. So if he's touchdown dependent.
What's another acronym? It's not really a PPR. What's another acronym in fantasy football for a league? Is there another?
I mean, it's just standard versus PPR. There's dynasty. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Maura.
Is Pete going to get a win tonight?
Who are they playing?
At Denver.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
No, he's not.
Oh, Maura comes in with the kill shot.
Love Pete, but
more off the top rope.
Would you put money on that?
Gino going to throw
Heck
an interception tonight?
Heck no, Maura.
Gino going to throw a pick?
I can't. ESPN Bet doesn't exist anymore. What am I going to do? All right, we got to go. I'm out tomorrow. I'm going to go to the Tri-Cities, Brock. Yep, going to be in Kennewick for a girls hockey tournament. Me and Cecily heading out there tomorrow morning. Looking forward to that. So
can't wait for those stories.
Oh, they should be.
When's the last time you've been to the Tri-Cities?
During COVID, went out there. I'm told the best restaurant in Kennewick is Applebee's, so we'll see where this goes.
Why would you do that on your way out?
That's what somebody told me. I'm not
Get
lying.
out of here.
That's literally what was told to me. Bump and Stacy up next. I'll see you guys Monday morning. Brock will be in tomorrow. Until then, the hay.
Barn.
See everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
You and I got into a debate. They needed to make a statement. You were like, they're a good team that's kind of flown under the radar, but I think they like that.
To me, I use the word like signature win. I guess you can't make a statement, but I like signature. I like that because signature win is like, all right, be the team you're supposed to beat, like dominate this game. We want to feel like this game is over by halftime, and that's what they did.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710, Seattle Sports on YouTube, and the Seattle Sports app.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with.